specialize in turning every ring into a relationship. Experience Ruby for yourself. Visit Ruby.com, or better yet, call us 866-GET-RUBY.
Now is the time to be smarter than ever about protecting yourself from germs. Hi, I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. Our American-made floor liners and cargo liners have always protected your vehicle. But here's something else important that you should know. Unlike ordinary carpet mats, the durable, non-porous surfaces of WeatherTech floor liners, cargo liners, and even cup phone can be easily cleaned and wiped down with disinfectant to keep your vehicle and phone sanitized and germ-free. Keep your vehicle clean and keep yourself safe. Learn more about all of our products at WeatherTech.com.
These are worrisome times, causing a lot of stress and concern. And being in debt to the IRS can certainly make matters worse. Thankfully, there's good news. Optima Tax Relief can help you resolve your tax debt over the phone and online. Don't go it alone. Optima's tax professionals can reduce the stress in your life by helping to resolve your IRS problems right from the comfort of your own home. Optima is America's most trusted tax resolution firm, having resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. And their award-winning team is ready to help you online and over the phone, even during these uncertain times. They'll stand between you and the IRS and fight to get you the best deal possible. All it takes is one call to start the process. Optima's tax associates are standing by. Take the first step towards putting your tax problems to rest. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-725-9935. 800-725-9935. 800-725-9935.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hello, it is I, Mark Zito, not reading from a script.
And it is me, Ryan Sampson, also not reading from a script.
We wanted to let you know about our show, This Is Happening, and it airs on Dan Patrick Radio, Channel 211, weekend mornings from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Tune in for natural, free-flowing conversation.
I am excited.
You mean excited?
Ha ha ha!
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
The Tony Bruno Show.
The man chosen to save American radio from its horrible future.
He didn't invent radio. He just perfected it.
Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes.
Parental discretion is advised.
The godfather of sports radio.
It is a final.
Here is Tony Bruno.
Tony Bruno.
Beautiful.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tumult Tuesday. Take Back America Tuesday. Tito's Tuesday. Ta Tuesday. Whatever else you can think of on a Tuesday. And while many others in this broadcast industry, and especially sports talk radio, have run away from the important stories facing America, we are sitting here in the bunker, formerly the wine cellar in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Ground Zero, with an explosive show today following an explosive night. I don't know if you heard, Harry Mayes, the sounds of boom sounding like it was Somalia here, waiting for Black Hawk helicopters to come in and rescue us. But last night, the target was ATM machines going boom all over the Delaware Valley.
I read that this morning. I was not within earshot of any of the explosions, but I see there was one right around the corner, right outside here where I parked.
In fact,
at
Robin and I went out this morning with our camera crew, which means her cell phone and I walking around, and we went to survey the damage. You know, because it's daytime.
Well, we didn't walk everywhere. We didn't we didn't go to
but we went around. We walked because we had to get ready for a show. Yeah. So around noon, we took a walk a couple blocks around and saw, the local pharmacies that were destroyed, the Walgreens, which is popular, Broad and Snyder, which is a popular destination here in the city whenever there's a parade, well-known area, not far from the sports complexes. There's a Walgreens there that's still closed and boarded up. That was looted the other night.
Yeah, this bank is boarded up too, right?
Yes.
Here. Yeah.
There's a CVS that is still open that we walk by, and they're putting plywood up. So everybody's reinforcing all of their businesses where there's glass.
Yeah, you'd think Hurricane Bertha was coming.
You're absolutely right. And I'll tell you what, if you have stock in Weyerhaeuser or any of the plywood companies or Home Depot or glass companies, buy, because we were talking to a neighbor. We'll play the video. Robin and I went out, And we're trying to talk about our neighborhood where we live because that's what we care about.
Right.
You know, I can't fix Washington. I can't fix Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I can't fix any state. And I can't even fix the city. But I can help because I want my community to come together. And there are people who are out there protecting their own neighborhoods because the police aren't there, not because they don't want to be here, but because they're all focused on areas of trouble. So these are the big stories that are affecting us. And so we'll play the little interview. There's one black-owned business right around the corner, literally 50 yards, not even 50 yards from here. And that, sadly, was the only targeted business because it was a friend of ours who owns this place called Kicks in Fashion. His name is Drew Major. And his window he sold, and I would take a lot of friends of mine in there. I took Jason Thompson, former
was that
NBA
Ryder
player.
He played at Ryder.
Ryder University.
He used to live in your building, if I remember.
Yes, he was my neighbor. Jason Thompson, he and his brother, and played in the NBA. Jason for many years.
He loves a lot of the retro
sneakers.
Yeah.
And so this store
nowhere else in stock, and this place had them.
So this black-owned store had retro Jordans. So I took Jason, and he came into the studio once, and I took him around the corner to meet Drew because I know he loves the throwback Jordans. And this guy had a supply of retro stuff. I didn't buy this in there, though. I had my Wes Unseld jersey for years because I loved him, one of my favorite players.
And by the way, we need to clarify
that
you are not wearing a Bullets jersey for the front of the jersey, but for the back.
No, I'm wearing it for the front and the back because on the front it says number 41 Bullets, and on the back it's Wes Unseld. And by the way, this is the only NBA jersey I own, Harry.
I used to love those jerseys back in the 70s.
And the reason I'm wearing it, A, because I own it, and B, because Wes Unseld was one of my favorite players in the NBA, and he passed away at the age of 74 last night. And you talk about dominant players on and off the court.
Undersized, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was 6'7". You know, he is the only guy in NBA history under 6'8" to lead the league in rebounding. I mean, he had 13,769 rebounds.
Yeah.
No other player in NBA history under 6'8" has had more rebounds.
And the other thing, what he would do with those rebounds is he would turn, and he had the greatest two-handed outlet pass in the NBA. It was a weapon. He would just take it and heave it right down the court. It was like a fast break offense started from a rebound right underneath the basket.
And it
was unbelievable.
That's when I really loved the NBA, back in that era, when you had guys who were 6'7" dominating against the center position. At the center position. Now you got guys who are 7-feeters standing out 25 feet taking nothing but threes.
No, but I mean, he's 6'7", going up against some of the 7-footers, and he was dominating them. Yeah.
Exactly. So, huge loss for the NBA, huge loss for humanity. Remember, he and Wilt Chamberlain, here's another little Wes Unseld nugget. He and Wilt Chamberlain are the only two players in NBA history to win Rookie of the Year and League MVP in the same season.
Wow.
I mean, this guy, when you look at his career and you look at his absolute dominance and greatness, not as a player. Remember, he was with the Baltimore Bullets first.
Right.
First 5 years, then he went to Washington when they moved up there.
Right.
And then, of course, they changed the name because Bullets was too offensive, and they made him the Wizards.
But he was long gone by then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But remember, he was a player, coach, GM in this league, and one of the most revered quality human beings this country has ever seen and the NBA has ever seen.
They went to back-to-back NBA finals in the late 70s against Seattle, I think,
and they won
times.
Their only title was 78 against the Supersonics.
Right.
And he was the MVP of that series and the MVP of the league. Actually, he was the MVP in 1969 of the league. And he was the MVP, of course, on the 78 Washington Bullets team back in the day. So rest in peace, Wes Unseld, one of the icons of the sport that I pretty much have turned my back on right now, Harry.
Why is that?
I have turned back. And you know me, I'm not the world's biggest NBA honk.
No, you're not.
But right now, I am now instituting an immediate ban of all NBA chatter on the show.
Why? Because Thursday they're going to announce their plan of coming back.
I will not acknowledge the NBA until you listening, Adam Silver? You listening, LeBron, behind your big gated wall and your ivory tower and your gold chalice and pimp cup, whatever the hell you have in there? You listening to me? The NBA, this is an NBA-free radio zone until the NBA does the right thing and gets this crap out of my face. When you take a broadcaster that is the voice of the Sacramento Kings for many, many years, and you suspend a guy because he had the audacity to say all lives matter? That's what's happening with the NBA? That's why the NBA will completely be non-existent on this radio show until the NBA does the right thing. See, people can stand up and say, I'm not going to do this until we're going to shut this down.
I want to watch the playoffs.
You watch the playoffs in your home. In this house, the NBA is DOA.
You were just looking for a reason to not watch the NBA anyway.
I have a legitimate reason right now. You want a woke league to punish people for giving an opinion? If all lives don't matter, then no lives matter. I get the Black Lives Matter movement. What is wrong? How has this country gotten to a point where saying all lives matter is now a suspendable offense? You're going to suspend somebody for saying all lives matter to a couple of douchebag NBA players? Give me a break. Since when do NBA players who have nothing invested in a radio station get to tell a radio station guy and set him up? They set him up, Grant Napier. They set him up so they can take him down. And if you're going to do this, Adam Silver, crawl out of your stinking Martian hole wherever the hell you're hiding. The only NBA commissioner who's afraid to have a Twitter account, who's afraid to have social media because all of his douchebag partners will keep him protected while he hides in his Martian hole, wherever the hell he lives. This is an outrage, Harry. And I'm serious.
Well,
I don't yell very
him,
much.
Did he?
Well,
Sacramento
radio station.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, a rights holder for the NBA.
Yeah.
They're the station that has the Sacramento Kings broadcast. So the NBA could step in and say, you know what? This is not what we stand for. Hey, LeBron, put down the tweeter, buddy. How about you stand up for real justice? You want a man taken away from his job because he had the balls. And by the way, he wasn't spouting anti-Black Lives Matter stuff. He made a simple comment.
It was a question.
It was a question. He was baited by Boogie Cousins.
Yeah.
He was baited by the constantly injured and a man with no job, DeMarcus Cousins, into saying something that he turned into that other douchebag. What's his name from the Fab Five cheating guys? Chris Webber.
Yeah, he was
that bum.
And Matt Barnes.
And Matt Barnes will kill you. Matt Tire Iron Barnes. When you go back to his days at Providence with the tire irons.
Harry, give the quote. So the question that was asked to Napier was
from DeMarcus Cousins at Boogie Cousins. He says, at Grant Napier's show, what's your take on BLM? ? That was it. And Napier.
This was on the air, by the way.
No,
this was
on the tweet.
This is a tweet. It was a tweet.
Oh, I thought he was on the air on the radio. So why would the radio station? I thought it was on the air on the station.
Well,
no,
because he
makes
works
it even
with
worse.
the radio station. He goes, hey, multiple exclamation points. How are you? ? Thought you forgot about me. Haven't heard from you in years. Then he goes in all caps, all lives matter, ... every single one, ! times 3.
Oh, he's got to go for that, Harry. He's got to go. How could he dare? How dare he say all lives matter, every single one? You know that's not the case, Harry. All lives don't matter. How about no lives matter? How about that? Is that better? No lives matter, Harry.
It's insane that caused somebody to be taken off the air.
If we're going to suspend people for having an opinion in this country, then it really isn't America
This
anymore.
wasn't even an opinion, though. He was acknowledging that Black Lives Matter plus everybody else matters as well. But apparently that's not okay. I really don't get it.
I would call it TO here, but Chris Webber usually does that with the wrong time. Hey, Chris, get a TO, baby! Get a TO, sucker! Hey, LeBron, get on Twitter and start calling people names again as you sit in your big gated community with all kinds of heavy artillery to protect your ass. The NBA is a joke. The NBA is an absolute smoke and mirrors league. And until that alien, Adam Silver, crawls out of his hole somewhere and addresses this, you're not a legitimate league.
Well,
you want to be all woke and shit and do all that stuff? Then go ahead and be woke. But how dare you lecture us, the fans who keep your crap product on the air, the people who waste their times. ESPN spends 10,000 hours a week pimping your product. I hope the NBA never comes back. I hope they shut down and everybody out has to go out and get a job.
Well, I want them to come back. I need the NBA.
I don't need the NBA. You only need it for gambling purposes, Harry.
Now, your friend Grant says, he even tweeted after this, he says, if it came across as dumb, I apologize. That was not my intent. That's how I was raised. It has been ingrained in me since I can remember. I've been doing more listening than talking in the past few days. I believe the past few days will change this country for the better. That was one of his responses to Andre Miller. Okay, and there's some more here. This was all apparently, via Twitter.
I'm blowing up more than the ATM machines all over the city, Philadelphia area, Harry.
Did anybody get any money out of them?
No, one guy got killed,
I know, I saw that.
One guy got killed.
But I mean,
as I said earlier, you tap Mac. This time, Mac taps back.
Money Access Center, Mac. I love that.
That's the Mac, Jack.
I still call it the Mac machine.
I still do. Everybody still does. It's an old school thing.
I know.
And you go tap the Mac machine?
Yeah.
No, but the Mac machine done blowed up real good, as he used to say on SCTV. Remember that bit?
Now, yes.
Blowed up real good.
Now, apparently, there was a past exchange back in 2018 where Napier appeared to express support. Maybe support's not the wrong word, but didn't go against Donald Sterling.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
well,
so
I guess
think
he's not allowed to have an opinion then either, right?
Well, I mean,
he's supposed to be in the groupthink world of you think this way or we will destroy you.
So he was kicked out of the league and forced to give up his team because he was a racist.
Of course he was, and he should have been thrown out. But a guy has an opinion that not everybody agrees with, and they should be destroyed?
He said
back in the day
that he didn't think that Sterling was a racist because he had black employees, I believe is what the exchange was.
Oh.
And he did. And by the way,
he also
owned all those
that doesn't make
I'm not saying he was a good guy. I'm glad he got nailed.
No, Sterling, you're talking now.
Yeah,
we're talking about Napier.
I'm talking about Donald Sterling was justifiably removed from the league.
Yes. Right.
Because they found out it wasn't because he didn't have black employees. He ran an NBA team. It's because he mistreated people who lived on Wilshire Boulevard, and he owned all the buildings there.
He was a slumlord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he mistreated, and he wouldn't rent to people based on race and religion and color.
Right.
That's what makes you an absolute racist.
Yeah, here it is. Here's the specific. Napier even rehashed the topic on radio with Doug Christie. Remember him?
As his partner. He's actually on the air with him.
When he expressed that there's no way that Sterling could have been a racist because he employed a black general manager in Elgin Baylor and a black head coach in Doc Rivers.
Yeah, and again, if somebody wants to come after you and turn you into something with their agenda, that's the America we live in right now. But I'm not going to sit here and take it. I'm going to fight back against any of you chumps because I'm not a racist. You're a racist. The NBA is a racist league. The NBA is a garbage league. And I hope it never comes back. Ever, ever, ever.
I disagree.
Well, you're going to have the right, Harry. I'm not going to have you thrown off the show. Am I supposed to throw you off the show now because am I supposed to throw my headphones at you because you disagree with me?
Throw your headphones at me and force me to do my shows from home.
Meanwhile, we're coming back. I know somebody who needs to calm me down, Harry.
The Twitter sphere, or the Twitch sphere, needs him.
John McMullen will bring peace and humanity and all calm and tranquility right back. He's just back from New York. We had a nice shopping spree, I believe, last night.
No McMullen, no peace. That's what they said.
No peace. He's coming up.
Tony, you were written in today on the Pennsylvania primary.
I was?
Yes.
About damn time.
Matt Groves, FTW, said, Tony, I voted in the PA primary. Whoops, went too fast. On the Democratic ticket, I went right in Tony Bruno. Bruno Mays, 2020.
I can't.
Yeah, there's a T-shirt.
I can't breathe after that segment, man.
Oh, I have so many T-shirt ideas. Heath is not going to be able to keep up. Damn it, where did it go? What did I do with it? Damn it. Oh, here it is. Heath, if you're listening, you're going to get a whole new Bruno Mays 2020 T-shirt idea. Boom.
That's a rant we got to get up online.
What's that? My NBA rant? That's not the first NBA rant.
I'm sure it is. It's not going to be the last.
Well, it will for a while because I'm on the NBA is DOA.
McMullen's lives matter. Play action reel.
There's so many of these things nowadays that are so divisive that really split. It's just that's one of them. It's sad. But I do feel that Grant was incorrect in trying to say that defend Sterling, that just because he had black employees.
That's his opinion.
I know.
And by the way, back in the day,
and my opinion
all the Clipper fans who did, it's not about what being right or wrong. He was finally driven out of the league justifiably.
Right. Yeah. Why are you yelling at me?
Even the people who worked for him didn't think he was a racist.
Harry, can you do me a favor? There's that little white thing dangling from Tony's headset. It's really bugging me.
What white thing?
There's like a little piece of thread.
Tampon?
It's up top.
Is my tampon?
It's bugging me. I keep seeing it.
I got to change it.
How about 45
there.
seconds?
I didn't change my tampon.
Jesus.
That would explain so much.
Yeah.
Good
We
Lord.
don't have RLM. Robin's life matters.
Yes.
Not if she keeps this shit up for long.
About 20 seconds. And John's ready. John's ready.
He better be.
Yeah. It looked like a little string or like a
It was like a fuzzy kind of thing.
But it was sticking straight up. It looked like Cindy Lou Who from, the little thing that was like, you know what I mean. Whatever. Tony, go with a pad next time.
Tampon.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes on SiriusXM 211.
All right. I'm calmed down now. One thing you don't get on this show, Harry, is orchestrated outrage.
No.
There's no scripts. I'm not reading from prepared statements. I'm not reading from a teleprompter. What you're getting is real, raw, and unfiltered.
Well, we don't have writers on this show.
You're damn right we don't. Yeah. We do have a man, though, who does write.
Yes.
And a man who does emote, and a man who is revered by all. He is the true voice of reason, the calming influence in the world of the National Football League, which is still the greatest sports league in America. He is the great John McMullen, NFL insider, Sports Illustrated. He pretty much runs the world now. Mm-hmm. He's the guy the commissioner calls when he needs a bro hug first. Johnny Mac. John McMullen, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? I will say this. I mentioned that the Eagles had not released a statement, and an hour later there it was. I said people were keeping score.
A statement on what now? On what in particular?
On our cities burning to the ground.
Wait, our cities burning to the ground?
Rumor has it. I haven't seen.
Well, you know why they haven't released a statement? Because anybody who works.
Well, they did.
No, I'm saying why they didn't previously or prior to now is because all the people who work in the complex aren't in South Philadelphia. They're over in their homes in Jersey and all their luxury apartments away from all this stuff. They're not sitting down here when ATMs are exploding a couple of feet away from their homes and gunshots are being fired and you can smell the smell of arson all around you. That's why they haven't issued a statement.
Well, it is. When you talk about how Jeffrey Lurie projects himself and how he wants to be perceived as a progressive owner, his politics are generally very, very progressive. It was a little bit of a surprise why that he didn't come out for as long as he did. But, I mean, that's kind of one of the things I talked about. You have this entire almost cottage industry of scorekeepers who go on social media. And Anthony Lynn actually talked about this, the coach of the Chargers, and because he didn't issue a statement, and he was pretty honest about it, and he said, you know, I'm not interested in just checking boxes, and I think a lot of people just check that box because they're forced to, and they have to. But to Jeffrey's credit, his was more, it was a little bit deeper than the average boilerplate statement. Nonetheless, it's a strange world we live in. I'll just say that.
It's like, basically, it's like bringing in the National Guard to try to stop the uprisings in our city about 3 days too late. Listen, I don't care. Anybody can have a statement. This is America. And that's why I will not be silenced with my opinions. And then nobody should. I don't care if Jeffrey Lurie or everybody else does, but everybody feels like they're compelled to issue a statement. Fine, issue a statement. Yeah. How is that going to fix anything? Because Jeffrey Lurie is woke now? We already know he's woke.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And it, you know, before people looked at players, and I'm like, if you want, I say this all the time, for athletes and organizations, at their core, you know, sports teams are entertainment vehicles. It's a business designed to entertain you. I don't know why people look to them. And this is because of the popularity of the league. Obviously, the NFL is at the forefront. And this isn't the first issue. I mean, everything. People look to the NFL. Why are you looking to the NFL? Why do you care what Roger Goodell thinks about various issues? Why do you care what a football player might be 22, 23 years old, hasn't lived barely at all? Why are their opinions meaningful? You know, look to your community leaders. Look to your, if you're religious, look to your church leaders. Look to your parents. Look to your family.
I can't go in my church. I don't want to spread the Rona.
Well, you can't do that.
No, that's gone now.
Is it gone?
I think it's gone.
I need an update from Dr. Fauci before I proceed.
I think he's gone, too.
I think he's gone.
He gone.
No, he did issue a statement yesterday. But, John, just to be fair to Dr. Fauci, he did issue a statement yesterday saying that if you do intend to loot and riot, make sure when you're going into a gutted building to only have 25 looters at the same time. And if you're going to pass stuff out of a window
be 6 feet
on
apart.
Madison Avenue, have one person toss it, you know, sort of like a relay line. You toss it to a person 6 feet in front, that person then tosses, so that you are practicing social distancing before that last person puts it inside that waiting car outside for the curbside pickup service that we're seeing provided all over our great cities.
I do want to see, just as a social experiment, I want to see the peaceful part of the protest before it turns riotous. I want to see those people march to a church and see if they let them in. Will they let them in if it's 100, 200 people?
No, not so far. That's in phase 8. We're only up to phase 3 now. I don't know what phase is. I just set the tasers to phase. Well, I just said, what do I set to phase? What's the term for all of you like nerdy people who do that?
Isn't it set phasers to stun?
That is, set phasers to stun. Thank you, Joe.
Set phasers to stun. You're going Star Trek on me.
I know.
By the way, Tony, I get yelled at because I'm on your show.
By who?
Why?
I'm like, well, because Tony gives his opinion.
Yeah, I know. You can't have that.
And by the way, Tony and I have never had, I don't think we've ever had a political conversation off the air.
No.
We've been together doing live shows. I mean, I tell this to people all the time. People who are paid to give their opinion should be able to give their opinion.
No, not anymore. Come on, John. What are you, crazy? Don't you understand the new rules in this country? You can't have an opinion unless you agree with everybody else. How dare anybody think for themselves and have an opinion that's not the same as everybody else's?
Yeah, I mean, these litmus tests are ridiculous, and they only exist online. They only exist in social media. Like all these people who hate other people because of what they tweet or what they say on social media, presumably they all have families and friends and neighbors they deal with every day. Do they ask them litmus tests? No. In their real life, they just go about and you know, not to say you like everyone. Everyone doesn't get along, but generally people are decent, and they say hi, and they hold the door at Wawa, and they don't ask you a litmus test before they do it. It's time to get off social media and act like human beings.
Well, that's what I try to do every day. Robin and I went out this morning, talked to our neighbors. We'll get to that later. But let's get it, as Harry Mayes would say, on some of the shows that are safe, where you have to get it back to the Eagles, or else they'll take you off the air and the program director will come running in here. Yeah. What are you doing? Get it back to the. Let's get back to Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. Has that been decided, or do we still have any juice left to squeeze out of that baby?
I don't think there is any juice left. Well, there's always juice locally, nationally on your platform. I think the real discussion is Jalen Hurts. I think that's a bigger controversy than Carson Wentz versus Nick Foles ever was. And what I mean from that perspective is the Eagles never believed in Nick Foles as a long-term starting quarterback. They always saw him as sort of a closer.
All right, wait a minute. That ends today's Nick Foles, Carson Wentz discussion. Now, Harry, let's move on.
No, he's using that to set up the Jalen Hurts thing. Because that's the next thing. See, that'll start. That's the second phase.
That's the second phase.
Second wave. It's the
second wave of Eagles talk that will be pounded into people's heads on local radio here.
I set that to stun you, Tony. That is the real controversy. Because if Carson gets hurt again and Jalen Hurts plays well, then you have all these real discussions because of how much money Carson Wentz makes. Mm-hmm. Cost-effective contract for Jalen Hurts. That's legitimate. The other stuff wasn't legitimate.
How do we know, seriously, that Carson Wentz is not back in North Dakota and South Dakota as part of an Antifa underground movement that we don't know about and sending all these pallets of bricks all over the cities?
He's working for Berkshire Hathaway, I think. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. That guy, and I know him well enough to know, he does a lot for his particular community. And he's obviously a very faith-based person. Mm-hmm. He's a very religious person. Some people don't like that. Some people love it. But he does a lot of stuff altruistically, and nobody gives a you-know-what because it's not sexy.
Right.
And they're worried about him, and they're saying, oh, wow, Carson, put something on social media. This guy does so much for charity, and that's not meaningful until he puts something in Notepad on Twitter. It's a bizarre world to me.
Yeah, I love. Listen, I'm all about people, donating money and time. But I've ever noticed whenever an athlete goes out and gives something away, which isn't his and is provided by a sponsor, they get all the credit, and they have 16 camera crews following them around. That's easy to do when you're a celebrity. It's much better when you walk around and nobody's there and you give. Those are the people I respect more. Having camera crews following you around because some company provided $100,000 of their money and time so that you can look like a hero, that's not a hero to me. I'm sorry.
Well, I agree. Anybody who's doing charity work for publicity, yeah, I agree. That's Carson does a lot of stuff that is not publicized by the Eagles. He's got his own foundation, his annual softball game, which he does 2 of them. He does one in Philadelphia, one in North Dakota, but they're canceled because of COVID that no longer exist, evidently. But, I don't know. Those things aren't publicized. But, and again, the people who are involved care a lot, and the people who aren't involved don't care at all.
Hey, John, you see Deshaun Jackson was on the Lane Johnson's Outside the Lane podcast. And
did he tell him to stay in his lane? I mean, how does he go outside the lane? Shouldn't he stay in his lane, bro?
Everybody's got a podcast.
As long as Lane keeps his hands inside, okay? So you don't want to get holding.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Was there any holding on this podcast?
No, there wasn't.
Did he get injured at all during any of these podcasts? That's what I care about when I talk about
but I think he's doing supplements that may or may not be on the league's approved list. Deshaun Jackson said that maybe they should give, mic the players up and give the fans, better insight as to what's going on if there's not going to be anybody in the stadium. Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Graham mentioned that as well, and he said that would be one of the interesting parts, and you get to see some of the trash talk. That's what people loved about the XFL, the people who were watching that. They mic'd up the coaches. They had the quarterbacks mic'd up. You could see the communication back and forth and how they were calling plays and how they were doing things. And I thought it was really educational for the fans that were watching that. I couldn't imagine the NFL embracing that.
No.
But, I mean, there's some degree, if nobody's in the stands, you're just going to hear something. And that's going to be the nature of it as they mic the field. But I don't know if they want to go down that road, and I disagree with them. I think the more you can bring people into it, the better. But they don't think that way. I mean, they don't. And coaches, by the way, they would hate that. Mm-hmm. And the coaches in the XFL hated it.
Yeah.
Because
coaches hate everything like that.
Yeah, they really do, because you can see them making mistakes in real time. Nobody wants to see that. There was a quarterback.
I do.
I know. It's really interesting. Matt McGloin, the old Penn State quarterback.
This is
on
great.
The New York Guardians. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he just imploded on the sidelines. It was frustration. It was a disaster for him, but it was compelling television.
I mean, that's.
You can imagine. Harry, can you imagine that in the NFL, if an NFL quarterback imploded like that?
Oh, and just called out the offense and the coach on the field going into the tunnel. That was.
And I heard the fans were chanting, "We are!
Yeah.
We are! We are! We suck!"
I think a lot of Penn State fans forgot he went to Penn State.
We have tape. We had some. Our mics were there for the Matt McGloin implosion.
Oh, no! We suck again!
Exactly, man. It's good stuff. Anytime you get Matt McGloin talk on the show, you know you're digging
you
deep in it.
You never know where it's going to go, Tony. That's interesting stuff.
John McMullen, our NFL insider at Sports Illustrated, everywhere. I mean, is there anywhere
Philly Voice?
Philly Voice, you can read him in there. John, is there anything you're not doing right now that you want to promote?
No, I was trying to promote my podcast. When Harry said Lane has a podcast, I said everybody has a podcast, including me, Extending the Play with our good friend Ryan Rothstein.
Extending the Play. I like that. I try to do that a couple nights, but I'm getting older, and it's hard to keep it going. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's what they have.
I have Extend. Actually, I bought Extends for that.
Yeah. Extends, exactly.
Exactly.
That's going to be the sponsor.
Are they the sponsor of the Extending the Play, Ryan?
Extends.
Extends, baby.
I love those commercials.
And you know what? The ladies will like it, too.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what's great about the podcast. And, guys, no, that's a different product. Wait a minute. Here's breaking news. I want anybody who doesn't have a podcast to call in today. I mean, seriously, do you know anybody who doesn't have a podcast?
It's going to be a slow day.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody's got a podcast. And everybody who didn't before this uproar in this country now has one over the past 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, if you're stuck in your house, and we've been stuck in the basement, for years here. So we were way ahead of the curve before the curve had to be flattened.
Right.
And now that the curve's flattened, we're still down here in the wine cellar, now known as the bunker, the survivalist bunker in South Philadelphia, John.
Yeah, I was going to stop by for the show, but
did you hear any of the?
I want to deal with that.
Did you hear any of the ATM machines blowing up?
No, but I was in ShopRite today, and it was like end of days. I went to the grocery store because my wife isn't feeling well, and she wanted some chicken soup. Big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go to the grocery store.
I haven't for over 10 years.
No, the ShopRite in Collingswood is awesome. We went by there the other day.
It is amazing.
That's the nicest on Route 130 up there. Absolutely, the nicest ShopRite, and it wasn't reluted yet. So we got in there. They had meat. They had like everything on the shelves. They had meat.
Don't tell anybody, Tony.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
They had the meats, Harry.
The poor people in Collingswood. You just ruined it.
I know. Hey, I'm trying to help people get to provisions. When we're living in conditions like Venezuela and Honduras on the mainland, we want to help people get provisions because every drugstore and everything else has been looted. How are people supposed to get medicine and food supplies here? Am I going to have to get rent a Chinook helicopter and drop relief aid to people in the city?
Hey, John.
That's not a bad idea.
I know.
I think those are.
I would like to have.
You have the used Chinook helicopter dealership.
Exactly.
Well, honestly, I feel really, really bad for people that don't have cars, that live in these neighborhoods where every single store has been hit, and now they've there's nothing, like they can't go just to the corner store and go shopping. They can't, and the buses have stopped running. So they're literally completely isolated now.
Yeah, I mean, earlier in my career, I lived in Minneapolis, the Minneapolis area, for about 10 years. I was there for a long time. I know that Lake Street neighborhood really, really well, and it's one of the lower-income neighborhoods in Minneapolis. And that's exactly what you're talking about. You have people who, a lot of people use public transportation. They don't have a car. And everything is destroyed. Everything.
Yep.
And they have nowhere to go.
They don't.
And it's really a shame. It's really so sad. And that's a great neighborhood, and, it's gone now. It's gone. And that's part of what I wrote about on PhillyBoys.com, and the fact that the mayor of Minneapolis was talking about the symbolism of the police department and how that wasn't important, while not realizing the symbolism of him giving up that police department arguably sparked everything else we're seeing in this country right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. John, let's get it back to anything that's football related. Not because we're not talking about the important things.
Get it back,
No, I
Tony.
got
This
something.
is your fault.
I mean,
it is my fault. I take the blame. Do I have to apologize now to the entire nation and issue a statement?
On social media. Doesn't matter unless you do it on social media.
What are we going to do now that Rob Gronkowski is no longer the 24/7 champion of the WWE?
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, that happened last night.
Yeah,
while I was watching
underreported
Space Reports.
Story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you could get that belt taken from you whenever and wherever. Yes.
Whenever, 24/7.
That's what matters.
R-Truth is the new champion.
Who?
R-Truth.
R-Truth.
Yeah. R-Truth will set you free.
That's right. He was posing as a landscaper on Gronkowski's property.
No way.
And Gronk was in the backyard just clowning around, talking to somebody who ended up being the referee because he took his clothing off, and underneath had the referee. We have the video.
We have video?
And audio. Yeah.
Was he a jobber?
The referee looked like a jobber.
He doesn't take things seriously, and he's not paying attention. He's having fun.
So you're not getting WWE Monday Night Raw updates.
That's right.
That are sports related. That's a combo mambo. You got wrestling and NFL tight end talk all in the same segment, Harry. You'd have to pay $9.99 a month for the WWE Network to get this kind of extensive wrestling coverage.
How soon did it take Bruce Arians to call Gronkowski and say, "You're giving up that belt as soon as possible," as soon as he signed him?
Now Freddie Mitchell could come over there.
Because Rob had signed to do a big match at SummerSlam, which is in August and was scheduled to be in Boston. And that was the tie-in, obviously, as a Patriot. Now he's no longer a Patriot. He can't do anything in Boston.
Right.
So they're not going to be able to have live fans. So,
right.
And now he signed with Tampa Bay. So, yeah, his fun is over.
He is the people champ. So this was filmed outside. This wasn't
live.
This
is at Gronkowski's house.
I know, but I'm saying that when they ran it on WWE Monday Night Raw, this was previously recorded.
I would imagine so.
I don't think they did it live. Did they go live to Rob Gronkowski's house?
No.
Dude.
No, Rob is a big star.
Did you want me to play this really?
He is a horrible actor.
Who? Rob Gronkowski. He's perfect for wrestling.
He is
Come on.
just horrible.
Is he like late night Cinemax horrible?
Worse.
Worse than that?
Yes.
Let's go to the tape.
All right, you ready? I got you. Don't worry. I got you.
Got the belt on. Is that the 24/7 belt?
Yep.
Who's the guy with the
Wait a
leaf
second.
rake?
That's the landscaper.
He's just flipping mulch. Don't worry about him. Okay.
So he's filming a video right now.
Oh, and there's a referee?
Yeah. So now he turns around. He sees the ref.
Wait a minute!
Oh, and he's down.
And he's down.
Oh, he got him, and he got him quickly. That was the quickest submission I've seen since a Kardashian sister at the NBA All-Star Weekend, Harry.
Oh, my God, that was the worst acting job ever.
What did I tell you?
Come on, let's go. You're with the Bucks now.
He is brutal.
It's just horrible.
That should be taken off the. That's on ESPN.com.
Dude, I'm telling you.
That should be taken off the internet and declared unfit for viewing for children under the ages of 10.
It's probably got 10 million hits on it.
I know. It's going viral.
ECW would not put up with that.
No, ECW Arena.
No.
They would
They're
have
hardcore.
You would have had, what's his name? Styles?
Joey Styles?
Joey Styles would scream, "Oh, my God!"
Well, the ECW Arena is Viking Hall in South Dakota. I don't know what they call it now.
No, it's called the 2300 Arena.
2300, yeah.
Come on, John. You think I don't know my South Philly?
I know.
I made my bones down here before you were banging cheerleaders in the NFL.
I was about to ask you if the 2300 Arena is okay.
I don't know. I haven't checked it.
You got to do that. You got to get out of the bunker and check on the 2300
I'm not allowed out.
Arena.
I'm not allowed out. I got to stay inside to stay safe and all those other important. That's from one thing we've learned, though, John, as we wrap it up. I think we can all agree at this point we are no longer all in this together.
Oh, I told you that from the beginning.
Yeah, but now it's proof.
Yeah.
We have certified proof we are not in this together. So all you advertisers out there with your sob stories, let's turn the page and move on from we're all in this together. Because sadly, we're not. Beautiful, man. Hey, John, great to talk to you, man. There he is. And tell all your buddies, tell all your woke buddies in the NFL media to kiss my grits. Thank you, John.
Yeah, they don't like me because I'm attached to you.
That's all right.
Is that right?
Well, you know, they're
no, I'm joking. They don't care.
No, they don't. I know they don't like me. And guess what? I don't like them either. We're coming right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. Open lines, too, if you want to call in and chat a little bit. 215-462-TONY. 215-462-8669. Tony, Harry, the whole gang. It's a Take Back America Tuesday, Harry.
Good luck.
Tony, you need to give me warning when you want to play the video that we made earlier this morning because I have to actually do something with some cables here.
Who? Yeah, he was terrible.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen. That was literally. I knew it would be bad. I never thought it would be that bad. I've seen home amateur porn with better production value than that. Mikey Misses Hair Plugs is actually active on the Twitch stream, even though he's pretty not active anywhere else right now.
I need 10,000 McMullen. Let's say you T-shirt ASAP. What? There was a really long comment that was funny, a McMullen comment. Here, Mikey Mrs. Hair Plugs writes, I'm back. I had to switch over to my phone to listen. My computer blew up during the segment. Not even IT wants to listen to John McMullen. Damn thing committed suicide.
That's tough love. You know, it's the same as the local media guys who hate me. I want the local media guys to hate
Gotts, Mikey Miss, he be gone?
I don't know.
Is it official?
I have no idea.
It's not official, but those rumors are...
Rumor has it. Do we have to play a little Annie Lennox today? Rumor has it. Wasn't that? No, that was Adele, wasn't it? That was Adele.
Yes.
Back when she weighed like 2 bills plus, when she was Zaptic.
She is skinny AF now. Like, how'd she do it?
About 2 minutes.
La 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 la. That can't be right.
57-37 here, Tone.
What is the number today? I'm sorry. What is it?
57-37. Hard out.
57. I need a new.
Extends out.
I need a new. You have any new index cards, Robin? This one's wore out. You know, it's funny. Krause would always do like a new one every time there was a change. And I've had this one for a week. Now I keep seeing it, and I have to.
What is it supposed to be?
No. So just tell me what it is.
57-37.
Okay.
Do you want me to write it on a new one?
56.
Yeah, just write 57 and then 30. Because it was always 56 something, and now I'm changing the because it was 56, 56, 56, 59, 58, 57.
Tony Bruno.
Okay.
Bill Kennedy. John LeClair.
John LeClair coming up next hour.
Coming up.
Or as we call him, what do we call him? Johnny Vermont. Not Johnny Utah.
Johnny Vermont, man.
Not Johnny Utah. Who's Johnny Utah? Huh?
From that freaking movie.
Not Johnny Yuma. He was the rebel.
Oh, that's from Utah.
Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break.
Johnny Utah, brah.
Great movie. Why, thank you, 91 Sixers. I haven't been called a ray of sunshine for a while.
I'm not losing my musical knowledge. I mean, but when you hear Rumor Had, the first thing, doesn't it sound a little like an Annie Lennox song? And then I immediately realized it was Adele. Give me a break, man. I'm not running for president.
Is that Adele knowledge?
I know a couple of her. I mean, listen, she's really good.
She is good.
As is Annie Lennox.
Yeah, she's
They're
phenomenal.
both phenomenal.
Did you watch the Clive Davis? No. You're watching all these like violent ones and Waco and all these other psycho things.
B. Mitch 88, you are an FBI agent. Is that a female?
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes on SiriusXM 211.
Tony Bruno, Harry Mayes. I'm sorry I have to apologize now, Harry.
For what?
I will be issuing a statement later for looking out for my own communities and not obsessing about what's going on in Washington, D.C. and how I'm supposed to go there and march and take down the White House. How many times has the White House fallen already in movies? What were they going to call the next film? Was what? Something Has Fallen. All these have fallen movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Angel Has Fallen.
Falling Down.
No, that was that film down on the Venice Pier.
I like
One
that
of the
movie.
great movies.
That
That guy's
great.
around a lot now. You know,
Yes.
there's a lot of those guys around, walking around on not just on the Venice Pier, Harry.
Disenfranchised, middle-aged white men with glasses.
Exactly right. Most of them are running radio stations right now, sadly. And we're gonna, everybody's got to
both
work.
resemble that remark.
Everybody needs a job, Harry. Well,
That's
not
right.
anymore. Nobody needs a job because you can get money for doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I really gave that some thought this morning.
Just
while
sitting
I was,
around
while
and
I was
getting
playing
just
golf. I'm
collecting
like, you know what?
unemployment.
You played golf this morning?
Yeah, this whole job thing is a little overrated.
I agree.
You know, I think I'm going to find a better way.
Yeah, if I can get the government to give me $1,000 a week.
Hey, people are doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
But no, I'm committed to the cause. Whatever the hell that
What
means.
is the cause? When you figure out what the cause is, you tell me.
Not the causeway that goes over into Summers Point.
Right.
I'm not committed to that yet. It's still too cold. The water's dirty and it's cold. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to the official archivist of everything except riots, Jim in Cheltenham. Although he may have tape of me covering the L.A. riots, not in '92, but after the Lakers won the championship against the Indiana Pacers, Harry, when I was there in Staples Center watching the entire area burn down because the Lakers won the championship. I miss those days when people rioted after the teams won. It used to be after teams lost. The great Jim. Jim, how are you, pal?
How you doing, Tony? This is not NBA radio, is it?
This is not. This is non-NBA radio. We're going to have a new channel called Non-NBA Radio.
Well, I called up today because Robin was talking yesterday. He wanted to know if anybody have one of their clips when Robin did the bacon commercial.
We knew you'd have it.
Oh, there's a clip?
The right brand bacon.
Oh, the right brand bacon. I love it. Do we have?
Oh, we talked about this the other day.
This was a staple. Not just because we love bacon. It was bigger, meaty. I mean, it was the sexiest bacon commercial ever done. And by the way, Robin didn't write this. This wasn't a Gronk production where they had all these fake. This was the actual copy.
Well, and it was supposed to be read normally. And as soon as I got the copy, I'm like, Tony, you can't be the one to read this. It's going to sound really bad.
Exactly
I
right.
should read it, and then I put a little twist on it.
Exactly right. And she put it in some grease, and bacon fat rules, and the rest is history, Harry.
But not one single word was changed from the copy.
Exactly right. Now, do you have it, Jim? Because we need a little more motivation today.
She used to do it in the studio, but this is the first time she did it on a live remote.
Oh, where was this? Was this
Ben Salen,
Parks.
Parks Casino is at Chicky and Pete's.
Oh, man.
Was this the Christmas Eve?
It was Christmas Eve show.
So Robin was really sloshed then.
Oh, you were liquored up?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we were getting liquored up at Chickies and Pete's. You think we were on drinking? They're doing a night show right near Christmas.
But this place was packed.
Now, was this the podcast?
No, this was live.
No, this was
Into
the Night.
The original.
Oh, okay.
The original
when we would
Into the
travel
Night.
the country and do shows live.
And your engineer was there, Miss Betsy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the great Betsy Deming.
I think you and Betsy did the commercial at the same time.
Two chicks at the same time.
Let's go to the tape. I can't wait to hear this. Everybody,
but first you're going to hear
all you men out there, calm down now. Calm down. This is I got to put a disclaimer. Please, just remember, this is a commercial for a legitimate bacon-type product. This is not a sex commercial in any way, shape, or form.
This whole show was off the rails, as you would say. And you'll hear the opening of the show where it was pretty wild, and then you'll hear the commercial.
Oh, let's go to the tape, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of levity we need on a day like this, Harry. Yes, indeed. Hello there, everybody. Welcome. What up on a Thursday night? You are looking live on Christmas Eve. There are people standing up on the bar already, throwing stuff at me. Who's throwing stuff? Don't be throwing any waffles here. This isn't the Toronto Maple Leafs game. It's a Thursday night. We're out on the road again. And out here at the beautiful Parks Casino in Salem, Pennsylvania, inside Chicky and Pete's, Tim Kate.
This is our last show of the year.
Yes.
What a way to go out.
What a party. Wow. It's time for the commercial. Are you ready? This portion of Into the Night is brought to you by Wright Brand Bacon. Wright Brand, the crowd like that.
I think that Betsy and I need to stare into each other's eyes.
Okay, do whatever you need to do. Wright Brand Bacon is everything you like about bacon, only bigger. Wright Brand Bacon, bigger, better bacon.
I'm so thick. I'm so delicious. Oh, I'm like meat candy. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, man. Find out more, not about Betsy and Miss Robin. Find out more by going on to biggerbetterbacon.com. Beautiful. See?
That was pretty good.
Now, how many years ago was that?
10 years ago.
10 years we were pimping bacon.
December 2010.
We were pimping bacon 10 years ago. Now all of a sudden everybody's having bacon.
Now what show was I was doing the midday show with you? That was when you're doing double duty.
We were doing day-night double headers back then when I was young and could go out there and eat bacon 24/7.
That was 10 to 1 a.m.
10 p.m. to 1 a.m.
And you probably asked me to come out and join you, and I said
hell no. Are you crazy? I'm sleeping. I got to play golf at 6 a.m.
I remember that night. I
man.
couldn't believe how many people were there on a Christmas Eve.
Yeah. That's when meat candy really had a special meaning to everybody, Harry.
And that was the night, Tony. Then people going home after midnight. People were coming in after midnight.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, usually radio show, oh, yeah, we're going to go home. It's midnight. Mm-hmm. Hell no, man. We had to chase people out of there. We had to bring in the National Guard that night to clear the place. There was rioting in the parking lots.
I don't think we left there until like 3 a.m. or something crazy like that.
That's right.
I saw a big unit of National Guard last night
Not
on my
Joe
way
unit.
home. No. 15 trucks coming down south on the Blue Route.
That's right. Let's take back America, ladies and gentlemen. Let's restore the peace with bigger, better bacon, baby.
Did you know that Wright Brand Bacon still exists?
Yes,
it does. They should contact us and have us start doing commercials for them again.
It's in the stores, Harry.
Well, why don't we contact them?
Let's get them back in here.
We have a guy.
We have a grill. We can make it right on we can do it right here in the wine cellar.
Right.
We can sizzle. You can hear the sizzle. You know they want to have sizzle on the radio, Harry. Jim, tremendous stuff, sir.
Thanks, Tony. We'll talk later.
There he is. The great Jim from Cheltenham, the official archivist.
Man, I haven't had regular bacon in months.
Are you serious? I have bacon every day. It's keto, Harry.
Yeah, I know. I'm not on the keto.
It's
told
still good.
You it didn't work.
Most people don't realize that bacon is keto. Everybody eats bacon. People bathe in it. Mm-hmm. Bacon is the source of life, Harry. What's the matter with you? Jeez. Even Colin Kaepernick had bacon on his socks. He was promoting it.
You know, it'd be really good bacon straws for Tito's vodka.
Oh,
bacon everything, man.
Yeah, for the Bloody Marys too.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love making bacon, Harry. Except my making bacon days are gone. Coming up, John LeClair. We'll talk hockey action, yo.
Yeah, he's got a new league.
A new hockey league, yo. And Sid Rosenberg from Ground Central in New York, where New York has fallen. Soon to be a new movie. Stick around, much more still ahead. Damn, sorry.
Are McFlurries keto? No, they
No,
are
they're not.
They would. That would
what
be a
keto?
big fat
McFlurries.
No.
No, McFlurries. No, and nothing with. The ATMs were smelling like bacon last night.
Yeah, that one guy who blew himself up, that's about instant karma right there.
We got AJ still on hold, too.
Oh, AJ, on hold. We'll get to you in this
Is
segment.
that AJ in San Antonio? On Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
With WKRP, they're throwing bacon out of helicopters, I think, this holiday season, if there is one.
Whew, excuse moi, that was a yawn. What the heck? Well, I wasn't sleeping very well, I have to admit. Every noise, every sound, every now and then you would hear a bang, and you're like...
Even Robin's son called us at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You see, I texted you at like 1:15.
No, I turned my phone off.
No, but I'm
Good.
saying you saw it this morning.
Yeah, but it doesn't. No, it doesn't show up until the time that I turn my phone on. That's the time it gives me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was like
that's interesting.
1:15ish.
Yeah.
We were still.
Oh, so
listening
you
to the
actually turn it off,
explosions in
you
the
don't just
back.
silence it?
No, I turn it off.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's why. Yeah, my son called me at like 2-something, and he was hearing the explosions where he's at, and he wanted to. He's like, "Mom, are you okay?" Because he was reading on social media that stuff was happening down here.
Yeah, her phone's like beeping away, and I'm like, "Is that my phone or yours?" She said, "Mine." And she said her son was calling from up there in the Drexel campus, and he kept hearing explosions.
Yeah.
I kept hearing him in the distance.
Well, he went out onto his balcony. He could see the flames and stuff. Lights of fire every now and then he could see that it was sort of coming from our area. So obviously he was concerned. I was concerned about him too. And it's crazy. This whole thing is insane. And whatever message they were trying to send is lost. And it makes me angry that it's lost. Is D'Alessandro's keto? The inside, yeah, just the meat and cheese.
You can't have bread. You can't have pasta.
Unless you make Miss Robbins bread.
Yeah.
Because I made some bread that was actually not bad.
But it's not like a roll. It's not like a crispy,
No.
good roll.
Although the waffles I made the other day
They were good.
were good.
I like waffles. Do we have that song? Remember we used to play that on the night show all the time. I like waffles. It was a horrible song, but it was so horrible it was good. Harry.
I like waffles. There was also the donkey from I Need Some Waffles. Remember that from
that was what's his name? Eddie Murphy,
Eddie
right?
Murphy.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes on SiriusXM 211.
Yes, my children, welcome to the safe space. The safe space before safe spaces were cool, Harry. Before college kids had to run into their safe spaces because they heard something they didn't like. Now it's legitimately a safe space. Safe space. We're saving face. It's Tony, Harry, the whole gang here.
Not lick face.
Not lick face, no. All those guys are in their basements, but they've always been there doing podcasts and tweeting lick face as they sit there, and they're kneeling in front of Sam Hinkie. They're not kneeling with police. They continually kneel and take a knee whenever Sam Hinkie is mentioned here in the greater Philadelphia area.
Right, but speaking of safe spaces and college campuses, did you see John Clark tweeted Temple plans to reopen campus for in-person classes this fall?
No.
Yep.
So, once all the cleanup and all the other stuff, and they can reassemble the Leocoris Center and all the other places.
Busted up.
No, I know you don't. Yeah. You never know. Got to be careful out there. Just be safe, people. Don't be stupid out there. We're here. We're working. We're right in the middle of all the craziness. We'll talk with John LeClair later on this hour. But it is NBA free radio. As we continue to boycott the National Basketball Association, until they apologize. And I want Adam Silver to take a knee in front of my friend out there in Sacramento, Harry, Grant Napier.
All right, well, I
want the commissioner to take a knee and apologize to Grant Napier and the radio station out there. What's the frequency out there, Kenneth?
I have no idea.
What is it, Robin? Is it an iHeart station?
Sacramento stinks. I bet hardly anybody listens to those games anyway.
You know what? You know who's in Sacramento, right? Governor Newsom. He probably heard it and said, get that guy off the air.
But they're voting on Thursday.
KHTK.
KHTK, the ticket in Sacramento. Shame on you. Shame, 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 as they said in that stupid show that everybody watched.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It's the only good part of that show when I play that shame, 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 which I don't have in this machine yet. I'm going to have to load it in here.
But you know the NBA is planning on a Thursday vote by the League of Governors, with the owners expected to approve Commissioner Silver's recommendation on a format to restart the season in Orlando.
Unfortunately, we will not have that for you on Thursday because of technical difficulties. Whenever the NBA is mentioned on the show, we immediately have a filter that will bleep out any mention of the NBA. We're going to call this show The NBA is DOA with Tony Bruno. It's a new segment. Could be a new podcast. One of the 75 that are right here in Philadelphia that are related to 76ers. Let's go to our producer, the great Ryan Rothstein, for his reaction today. Wearing a Sixer camo jersey, Harry.
Just for you, Tony.
Wait, did he wear a Wes Unseld Washington Bullets jersey today? No, he went out and bought a Dennis Rodman one.
Well, right. That's a throwback from years ago.
But this is a throwback
from
Wes Unseld.
Yeah, but Ryan, that's way before Ryan's days.
He's got to understand the history, the greats of NBA history. Not just a Ben Simmons who can't shoot and still can't shoot.
But he gets a lot of Instagram likes.
Well, no doubt about it.
Who, me or Ben?
No, Ben.
Now, what about you? You got strong Instagram game?
You know, it's not bad. I get like 3 likes a post.
Well, you know, you're a good-looking fella. You're tall. How tall are you, man?
About 6'8".
Are you 6'8"?
No.
Chicks dig 6'3" white dudes, man.
They dig 6'3", so NBA is no basketball allowed.
Can you dunk and can you touch the rim, so to speak?
I can't dunk. I can barely touch the net.
Come on, man.
I can't jump over an index card.
I got to give him one of these, Ar. A 6'3" white guy that can't even touch the rim. Give him one of those.
Weak sauce. I said NBA, no basketball allowed. That's all I wanted to say.
NBA what?
No basketball allowed.
That's it.
There you
I
go.
need a T-shirt.
Oh, man.
Get my T-shirt.
Put it on a T-shirt.
Now, what am I going to do during the playoffs?
Allowed. You just bet it and forget it. That's what you do.
Is that it?
You bet it and forget it. And then you see if Ben Simmons can make a shot.
And then I'm going to have to do a podcast in order to talk about the game.
Wait. So he can bet on it. He just can't watch it?
That's what most people do. That's what you do when you watch sports.
Oh, he can't dictate what I watch on television.
No, he can watch whatever he wants at home.
I'm asking. So I'm just trying to clearly delineate exactly what he says is okay and not okay.
No, I mean, he's allowed to feel however he wants, Robin. I'm not going to throw things at you guys.
We can't talk about it.
All right.
It's just an embargo on the show. It's a temporary ban until the commissioner.
I'm used to this embargo. We spent 5 years in Philadelphia
so in other
radio
words,
with an embargo
you can do
on the
whatever
NBA.
the hell you want. You just can't talk
Imagine
about
if Joe
it.
Eunice
I'm going to get Joe Eunice on the
Joe Eunice
show.
is listening right now. His blood pressure's got to be through the machine.
I want him to call in right now. Then don't talk about it.
I told you. No basketball allowed. The NBA with Tony. The NBA with Tony B. No basketball allowed.
Oh,
exactly right.
Now they're calling for a T-shirt for that too.
Yeah. We got T-shirt. We got T-shirts here. We got white T-shirts. We got black. We got red T-shirts. We got T-shirts coming out of our yin yang.
Let's go to the phones.
Let's go to Cincinnati, where I believe things are calming. And WKRP will be dropping Wright brand bacon this holiday season.
Instead of turkey,
so no one will be injured. AJ, what's going on, man?
Good afternoon, Tony, Harry, and Miss Robin.
Hey,
Good afternoon, my friend.
Before I get to my Grant Napier take, thoughts and prayers to Wes Unseld family, Louisville Cardinal legend, Washington Bullet great, one of the greatest undersized centers during his, playing days, helped the Wizards with the 1978 NBA championship, along with, Alvin Hayes and Bobby Danridge.
That's when the NBA was great to me. That's why this is the only jersey. You won't see me buying any of the 72 failed Sixer draft pick jerseys and then give them to the Goodwill store. You want to find all the Sixers draft picks of years gone by? Go into a Goodwill store here in the Philadelphia area. There's racks of all the 76er stiffs that the people in this city worshipped and kneeled before. I'm sorry, continue, man. AJ?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, I wasn't sure if you threw the heck. Okay. Grant, I got his back. All lives should matter. And
exactly.
Shame on Sports Radio 1140 and the parent company, Bonneville Corporation.
Is it Bonneville? Is that who owns them?
Yeah, Bonneville Corporation.
Shame on you, Bonneville. I used to have a Bonneville back in the day.
So did I.
And they were good cars.
That was my best car I think I ever had.
What'd you have under the hood, Harry? Did you have trip deuces? You have a big 4-barrel in there?
I just had the stock.
Good job, man.
Also, shame on his co-host, Doug Christie, who we work, the radio and also, TV on for the Kings for not, having his back and staying silent. That's just that's unacceptable.
I would move the hell out of Sacramento right now if I were Grant Napier and get the hell out of that dog and pony one-horse town. Get the hell out.
Yeah, because I had to deal with my own personal injury because it will be 3 years in July. I got pulled over night before 4th of July. I didn't know that my headlights got burned out. I thought, okay, just a warning, but then, trooper, asked, like, do you had anything to drink? And I said, yeah, I had a watered down, vodka and time because my mom told me you always tell the truth. You never, lie to, law enforcement because that's how, I was taught to be truthful to law enforcement. And then, I tried to do the sobriety test. Had trouble because my body had a crash because I flew that afternoon back from Houston. I took, a weekend trip to Houston, and the trooper was just being a jerk to me, being, hell-bent, saying that, I'm going to get you on illegal drugs. I think you're on, on something. So he was hell-bent on, trying to stick me on an OVI charge.
Now, let me ask you this. You're a man of color, are you not?
Yeah, I'm Asian Indian. I was born in America. My parents were born in India.
So you're an Indian American man who was hassled by police. Have you burned down Cincinnati City Hall yet, or any of the adjoining places in our right to go down and loot and pillage? Have you stolen anything?
No.
Have you gone in Cincinnati and get any Cincinnati Royals gear out of the local Foot Locker?
No. Yes. Here's why.
If you do, can you pick me up on? I love the Cincinnati Royals, man. I
don't support the looters who are just there who's looking for trouble and not caring what's going on. It's those people are making people who are peacefully looking bad. Because I remember back in 2001, similar issue where an innocent man died because of a law enforcement's aggressiveness.
Absolutely.
And we had 2 weeks of bad, negative national media coverage.
I hear it, man. A lot of people are upset, man. I'm upset. Everybody's upset. And, people act out different. I go on Twitter and rip people. I'm not out there.
You go on Twitter, Tony?
No. I go on Twitter and rip people who I feel are wrong. That's my right as an American. I'm not threatening anybody's life. I'm not breaking anybody's windows. I'm not blowing up ATM machines, although I'd like to every once in a while when I see that service charge. It depends. You go into a casino, Harry, they nail you for like $7.
Well, yeah, you can't.
Whether you take out $100 or $500.
Yeah, you got to bring the cash to the casino.
Exactly right, man.
AJ, you are absolutely right. That there are a lot of cops out there that should really take like psychology lessons because they do not know how to talk to anybody without them sounding like an a-hole. And I don't know what it is because we experienced it when last year there was an altercation at the Chick-fil-A, and there was a cop that came in, and rather than diffusing the situation, he started talking like everybody was at fault. And it didn't help the situation
Robin,
at all.
There are a lot of bad cops.
Yes.
But you know what there are also that's 100% guaranteed? Bad criminals.
Oh.
I don't want any bad cops. They should be rooted out. But bad criminals do not get a pass because of a couple of bad cops. Because there's not one criminal who's a good person. There's not one good criminal. That's why they're called criminals. There's not any cop who's a criminal is a bad cop. But to try to now say that every cop in America is a bad person, you're a moron if you think that. Then get the hell out of my country. Get the hell out of here and go to Venezuela. Go to Brazil. Go to stinking Honduras on the mainland and see what you'll get away with. Go to China with all your NBA buddies over there as the NBA continues to slurp the commies because they make sneakers for them and they sell crap to a bunch of people
who buy a lot of sneakers over there.
Well, they make them too.
Well, I know.
And that's why the NBA kisses their asses. Communist dictator ass.
Did I read?
They kiss it and then they'll bend over and kiss it again.
Did I read?
And then LeBron will ask, Xi, how much more can I suck your ass, Chairman Xi? Bend over again. I didn't get you enough. I need one more major suck so that I can get another $1 billion from the billions of people who are spending money buying shoes that cost $10 to make and you have to pay $500 for. I'm standing up for America, not for China, Harry. If you want to side with China, go right ahead. The people of China aren't the enemies, but the government of China is.
I probably hit golf balls that are made over there.
You're damn right. How dare you, Harry?
Yeah, I know.
Now, did I read that the NBA makes more money from
China
than they do
Of course
out
they
of
do.
the
Why do you
United
think they
States?
kiss
Is that
their
right?
ass?
Yeah, okay.
Why do you think the commissioner bows? Why do you think LeBron's over there kissing ass? Kissing ass. King James?
That's going to be a really long bleep.
Well, you can say kissing ass. That's not one of the 7 words anymore, is it?
I want to bleep out that whole segment.
Hell no. Put that on a route. We're going to run that for the final hour and just play that on a loop. I love Harry. He had his head buried in the desk during that. What kind of teammate are you, Harry? Aren't you with me? Are you with me or not? Are you with me? Knock on wood if you're with me. Knock on wood if you're with me. Come on, Harry. You got wood right there. No, not that wood. Knock on the desk. Knock on wood if you're with me, America.
We're not in commercial yet? Jesus.
We're coming right back. I want America to stop what they're doing and knock on wood right now if you're with me. It's Tony, Harry, Mr. Rob. We'll be right back. Come on, Harry. Would you rather be talking about the Mount Rushmore of NBA players and Philly sports heroes? You look in my 2 bags with all the clubs, my bags. There's not one club in there that's made in China.
The Mizunos are. Yeah,
No, that's Japan. They're made in Japan. Japan's our friends. The Mizunos are not made in China.
Hey, Harry, you don't have any of those special gummies with you by any chance, do you? Can we force feed Tony a couple?
One more major suck. Harry, can you grab me a water in there, please? As Andy Reid once said. I have one. I'm sorry. I got one here. Is there water in there? They're on the shelf standing sideways. There should be, unless we cleaned them out and nobody refilled them. I'll go grab a cup. How much time do we have? How can there be no water in there?
I don't need one.
Well, we should have a bunch in there so that people can grab them without having to go upstairs.
Like minute 50.
That's bullshit. Who the hell doesn't refill the water? station and the coffee pot's got like that much left and it's burnt. Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking for a cup of coffee that's been left on all night.
It's charred at the bottom of the bowl.
I tried to change the subject. I really did.
We got a minute 20, Toad.
Ryan, did you want a little table so that you can have that in front of you? Would it help? So you can sit and write?
Don't matter to me unless you.
I have it right here, if you'd like one.
All right, I got you on the phone.
LeClair's on the phone.
Big ball again. We got 45. So come on, man. I'll load up the fridge, Tony. Come on. This is an outrage.
Tony,
You got 35 seconds.
just leave it.
Leave it. I'll get it.
I gotta clean the towels every day. I gotta empty the trash. I gotta fill up the water.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wah, Tony. 20 seconds.
What's that?
This is my travel table, but it's like the perfect tiny size.
Rebel man, rant extended during break. LOL. No, I stopped that.
No.
I had to go fill up the water.
We were ranting about the rant. 10 seconds.
This will not go there.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes on SiriusXM 211.
All right, I've calmed down now. I don't leave anything in the locker room, Harry, as you know, on this show.
But we still got an hour and 40 minutes.
We're going to talk about a sport where real men play. Real men. Not softies like baseball players and NBA guys who sit around in their ivory towers. Let's go to a man from Vermont. We could call him Johnny Vermont. We know him as the great John LeClair, one of the all-time greats in the National Hockey League. And he joins us right now. Johnny, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How you been?
Beautiful. Now, you're in Jersey, right? So you safe over there? Everything quiet?
I'm actually in Philly. I live over by Villanova, but yeah, we're doing okay. We're hanging in there.
They
Got a house full.
They didn't riot in Villanova, did they? Did anybody go out and like loot, stores of loot country clubs and the pro shops to get Titleist Pro V1s?
They don't even riot in Villanova when they win a national championship.
Yeah, you're right about that. Jay Wright won't allow it. Jay Wright will not stand for rioting at Villanova.
That's right.
Exactly. I'm not living that large where it's like that for me, but. It's been pretty quiet. The city's been a mess, but it's been strictly kind of just in the city and a few skirts outside of it. That's it.
Now, of course, everybody's waiting for hockey to return. We're waiting for all sports to return. And obviously, the National Hockey League, it's amazing that it's the most maligned league, yet it was Gary Bettman in the NHL who actually took the first concrete step forward to bring their game back. Did that surprise you?
No, I think Gary's done a really good job. He's been aggressive as far as wanting to play and determined to play. They're taking steps forward. They're pretty determined that they're going to get something in this year. I think originally he wanted to even play some of the regular season games. That was his original plan. So for him to come up with this scenario, the 24 teams, and to cut it down into a 16-team playoff eventually, it's good to see. It looks like they're moving forward.
Now, if you were still playing, John, how would you approach this as a player? Would you be eager to get back on the ice and get playing and back with your teammates, regardless of whether they're doing this in, two cities that weren't anywhere close to your home?
Yeah, for me, I think, I would just want to play. A chance. It's not going to be your traditional Stanley Cup, but just a chance to still win the Stanley Cup. It's there. And everybody's starting from zero. Everybody's equal when they get back. So it's going to be a little different. But for me, I'm not as concerned. There is a concern out there with the coronavirus, but it's not something that's debilitating me that I don't leave the house. So I would be willing and kind of antsy to play.
John LeClair, United States Hockey Hall of Fame, Vermont Sports Hall of Fame. And I know Eric Lindros, your line mate, who you played with for many years, said you should be in the NHL Hall of Fame or the Hockey Hall of Fame. I know he's beating the drum for you. Is that still a possibility? Do you think that will happen?
I don't know. I think my window's kind of passed as far as my voting getting in. But it's nice to be considered. I think I was on the borderline there, so it's kind of it go either way. But regardless, there's nothing you can do about it now, and just kind of it is what it is.
Hey, John, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I mean, his name is on the cup, Tony. You know what I mean? It's like you ever wake up some days, or sometimes you're reflecting back and you're like, you know what? My name is on the trophy of my sport. How cool is that?
It is pretty cool. When you're all done, and you look back at things, when people talk about winning a Stanley Cup, or you're talking to guys that, have won or never got a chance to win one, it does bring back a great memory, and that's something you're proud of. That, you know what, I got my name on one of the greatest trophies in the world, and it's going to be there for 80 years until that band's gone.
I think that's the coolest thing about the Stanley Cup is that every player that's ever been on those teams, their name is engraved on the damn thing.
Last year when they brought it back here to Philly with the Blues, and we were talking to the coach, and I got to sit next to it. It was on the table in front of me up there in New Hope when we did a show, and I was just looking at it because I've seen it before, but I got to watch it for a couple of hours and kept reading all the names and all the. It's just it's unbelievable. It is the greatest trophy in all of sports, I believe.
It is, and with the tradition of it, just the way now every player gets a chance to have it for a day and do that stuff. There's not a better trophy to win in the world.
Now, how close do you stay with the Vermont program? Because obviously, you're going to be doing a hockey league next year, which we'll talk about in a second. But you're American hockey legend, Hockey Hall of Famer in this country, and we see so many players now. When it used to be all Canadians, and now all over the world is represented. But to be from Vermont and become a legendary player in the National Hockey League has to be a pretty big deal.
Growing up, it wasn't something that seemed attainable, but as I got older, there was more and more U.S. college kids kind of breaking through, like the Brian Leaches, the Craig Giannis, and those kind of guys. So it seemed a little bit more attainable as the further you went on. And, it was one of those things, I was fortunate. I played in a time of some pretty good USA hockey guys, and we were able to get the eyes on us, and people took us serious. All you need is a shot sometimes.
John, go ahead, Harry.
Before we get to 3 Ice, which is your league coming up starting next summer, playing hockey in front of no fans in a big, venue, like let's say the Wells Fargo Center with no fans, and you're playing a real game that counts and it's a playoff game. How different would that be for you being an ex-player?
I think it would be something you're going to a little bit getting used to. I mean, it could almost feel like a scrimmage at practice at first.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot on the line. I think guys will adapt quickly. But I do think it's going to be awkward at first. I think will take some getting used to. That's for sure.
Talking with the great John LeClair as he talks about the NHL returning soon, and certainly they're not going to do it in their own buildings, though. And I think that's because baseball, if they ever get it done, they right now are the only sport that appears to be ready to play the games with or without fans in their own home buildings. Hockey is going to do it at different hubs. The NBA is going to do it at the different hubs. That's got to be a real bummer because the team that wins the Stanley Cup will be doing it not on their home ice and will be doing it with no fans and probably won't be able to have a parade after they win if this coronavirus thing sticks around.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot unknown. You don't know what it's going to look like in 3 months or 2 months from now. So, my hope is that they play far enough and things clear up good enough that maybe the final is set in hometown so that the 2 teams that make it to the finals are able to travel by then. That would be nice. But, it could take a lot of the excitement. Like I said, it's going to be a different Stanley Cup. In my mind, I don't put an asterisk next to it. I think he still won the Stanley Cup. He went through the grind of the playoffs. You did play your games, although they kind of are taken away from this Stanley Cup playoffs now, but bottom line is when they look back, your name's on the Stanley Cup, and you got a chance to lift it over your head.
All right, now let's get to your new project, this 3-Ice, which is an 8-team hockey league that looks to start next summer. It's 3-on-3 hockey, which we know we have the overtime period in the NHL for quite a few years, since 2015, I believe. So people have kind of gotten used to what 3-on-3 would be like. It's very exciting and up-tempo. How did this all come about? Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's the brain trust of E.J. Johnson, the son of the great goaltender from E.J. Johnson from the Bruins. I think he played with Pittsburgh, St. Louis. But, he was watching the playoff. He was watching the games in the overtime. And, I think it's the most exciting part of the game. I think it's even more exciting than the shootout. Fans love it. It's high tempo, fast pace, a lot of action, a lot of skill. So it's really exciting. I think people are going to really enjoy it. And we're going to have some highly talented guys out there, real talented guys that can still play the game and play hard. I think people are going to be really entertained and really surprised at how entertaining it is.
Now, obviously the NBA Big Three took off, and because it's, as you mentioned, you got guys in there going up and down, and nothing like end-to-end action, as they used to say back in the day when the NBA and the NHL was on NBC, and we got end-to-end action. This is end-to-end action. So 7 players, so there'll be 6 skaters and a goalie, 2 8-minute halves. So there's going to be a lot of, obviously, guys can't stay on the ice for 8 minutes on a regular 5-on-5 or 6-on-6. So obviously they're going to be short shifts, but there's not going to be a lot of players, and there'll be a running clock, right?
Yeah. Although I played with some guys that could play for 8 minutes. They never got off the ice, so there's a few out there. But, it's going to be go. We're still trying to iron out some of the details as far as the rules and how it's going to, transpire as far as the game. But ideally, we'd like to have 2 face-offs, one to start the first half and one to start the second half. And other than that, it's puck goes out of play, ref drops the puck in the goalie's glove, or a goal scored, players take the puck out even behind the net, and away you go. So it's going to be nonstop, go, 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 and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be extremely entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, so much open ice. That's what makes it great. With the players have so much room to move. But now there's not even going to be any penalties, right? You just take penalty shots.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, just to keep the game moving, not have power plays and worrying about because then it could eventually be, with the no stoppage, it could be a 4-on-4 for a long time. So you want to keep it 3-on-3, more ice out there for these guys to do their thing. So just going to keep it moving with penalty shots.
And one of the most important things,
but
you already have.
Also, one thing too is that there's going to be no hitting and no fighting.
Okay.
So I think hopefully, there'll still be the stick stuff that will go on that will create some penalties and stuff. But hopefully with the no contact stuff like that, there'll be less penalties and there'll be a lot more flow to the game.
We're talking about John LeClair, Hockey Hall of Famer in this country and Vermont. And certainly the big advantage is you already have television commitments, right? You have CBS Sports Network and you have TSN up in Canada that will be televising this stuff.
Yeah, they've done a great job of really, being meticulous about how they want to, unveil this thing, and they covered their ground. To have a TV contract in the States, and then they have the obviously TSN's one of the more popular ones up in Canada. They also got RDS, the French station, that's the French version of TSN up there. So it's going to be seen, and it's going to be out there. And they're already getting some inquiries from other countries around the world, too. So this thing could be worldwide.
John, now, Vince McMahon will not be the commissioner, right? So we don't have to worry about this thing going away after a couple of weeks?
We're hoping not. We're hoping that we're going to be a little more sound. I've dealt with the guys that are in charge. They're real solid guys, and I think we're in good shape.
You got to have a couple of now the players will be modern day young players, right? Because you got legendary coaches. You got Brian Trottier, Grant Fuhrer, Guy Charbonneau, and you got 28 Cup champions coaching, 6 Hall of Famers coaching in this league. But the players will be made up of college players and minor league players. Who are going to be the guys on the ice?
Yeah, they're going to be professional hockey players. They're going to be, minor league guys that are really looking for a contract that haven't signed. They're waiting to go to a PTO. Could be a guy that's, finished his career, but you know what? He's still got some gas in the tank and wants to play. And it could be a pro guy that just, he's in that in-between stage and he doesn't have a contract. And instead of, during the summer, when he wants to try to get a tryout somewhere, he can show his stuff there.
So now, when do we find out where the teams are, where the cities are located? Or you're just going to be taking, like, how is that going to work? 'Cause you're going to move this around the country and do sort of, it's a bracket thing, and you're going to do sort of tournaments in several cities. But who are the teams? Like, when are we going to find out, what the name of the teams are and where they're located?
There's 8 teams, right? There's going to be 8 different teams,
yeah.
right?
Well, Seattle hasn't even released their name yet for the NHL, so I think we're way ahead of it, even if we haven't released anything yet. So we got some time to get all that stuff out. They have a good idea of what cities they want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't confirmed them yet, but they have a pretty good list and narrowed it down to the 8 that they want to do. And ideally, what they're going to end up with is the top 4 teams are going to end up in Vegas at the end for the championship, which will be fun. And it's going to be good. It's going to be, we're going to be touring around. And it's going to be some major cities and then some mid-sized cities so that everybody gets a chance to see some of these guys and get a chance to come out and really get a part of, professional hockey out there.
Now, are you going to be able to go out and skate around with the great coaches that you have with Trottier and all these other guys you play with? Are you going to at least go out at halftime and give us a little entertainment, bring out the old boys and do some old-school drills?
My goal is to leave the skates at home when I go to these tour cities.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. I want to see you fill the nets, man. Go out there and show these young guys how it's done.
These guys move a lot quicker than I do right now, so I don't know if I want to get out there with them.
No, you just go do the wide, slow, sweeping moves in and around as the older guys do, and then you just come up there and get that wrister.
Yeah.
Wrister right by it, man.
Yeah.
Put that biscuit in the basket, man. I need hockey now. I need it injected into my veins. There's nothing better than the National Hockey League playoffs, Harry. Is there any greater sport, John?
I don't think so. I mean, to me, obviously I'm really biased, but, the Stanley Cup playoffs is probably the greatest 2 months of sports for me to watch. There's something on the line every night. To watch a hero arrive, come about during those times, it's exciting. Guys are really laying it on the line. And it's incredible drama and high-paced action that it's just really entertaining.
Well, now, you being a coach, is this something that, you might want to parlay into something a little more regular and bigger on the next level if things go well? Is that something you might be thinking of down the line?
Well, we'll see how this goes, but, this is a form of coaching. I think, when you're getting into a 5-on-5 team and, dealing with power plays and penalty kill and those kind of things, there's a lot more involved. I mean, this is going to be pretty easy lifting as far as what we're coaching.
Okay.
The great John LeClair breaking it down, getting me jonesing for hockey, man. Are you going to be ready to? You're going to be watching. You're going to be watching, especially you got obviously a couple of teams that the Flyers are going to be one of those top 4 seeds, and that's going to be interesting to watch to see how this thing transpires.
It really is. I mean, to watch those guys battle out, where the top 4 get their seedings, and then the play-in is going to be interesting. There's going to be one team that wasn't in the playoff point race that's going to knock out somebody that was in the playoffs. But it's going to be interesting, and really interesting to see what kind of game we get with everybody coming back from this layoff and having to play at that level right away.
John LeClair. John, great catching up with you, man. I always love talking hockey, and good luck. And that's next year. Hopefully we get this hockey in this year and get things back to normal, and then we'll see the 3 ice, not the bro ice. That's a different thing.
Yeah, that's done.
That's different.
Bro ices are they over now? Is that officially
that's
over?
Yeah, that's over.
Bro ices. What else is over? Jump the shark. Is that over?
Yeah, I think so.
John, you don't say John, do you, John?
What's that?
That John thing that there's some strappers here in Philly started, and they're still starting to. They continue to use it. John.
JAWN.
See, he doesn't play. He doesn't play that stuff.
Right.
That's for all these strappers who do that John stuff, man. I've been trying to tell these people, man. Don't they know who I am and how long I've been around here? When it's over, it's over, John. When it's over, it's over.
It is. I haven't developed that Philly accent with the U's and yeah, right, and all that stuff.
I lost my Philly accent 50 years ago. But I'm saying that all these stupid sayings that sometimes you got to put them away for good. You got to
retire them.
Retire. You got to retire John. You got to retire Bro Ice. and all these other stupid things. They last too long now. 15 minutes is no longer 15 minutes. I want 15 minutes of fame ending in 15 minutes, maybe 16 if you go overtime, and then have a shootout, and then it goes away for good. Johnny, good to talk to you, brother. Thanks so much for coming on.
Really appreciate you guys having me. Anytime.
There's the great John LeClair. Let's put your hands together. First of all, the only way to end the segment is this way, Harry.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Is that right?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly right.
That new league will start next summer, and there's a website, 3ice, the number 3ice.com.
3ice.com?
3ice.
Any
Not Bro
nudes
Ice.
in there? I mean, what do they have? Any, like, Ice Girls?
No.
Do they have, like, an Ice Girls calendar yet for
No.
3ice?
I think it's a little too premature for that yet.
I want the girls out there
They don't
sweeping
even have the
ice.
teams yet.
That's okay. I just need to see them out there with the shovels, skating out there after the, when there's a timeout and they got to get the ice away and put it in the corner. I actually watch that, not just for the chicks.
Yeah, sure.
I don't even care if it's bros out there. But I like to see the ice shoveled into the corner,
It's
neatly
kind of the
picked up.
same thing as skimming a pool for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like my
There's
son
something
AJ.
very trance-like for him.
My son AJ down in Maryland, he bought one of these electronic pool skimmers, not the one that sucks out of your system.
Right.
It's an actually computer-operated one. So you put it in the pool, and it's connected to a generator.
Right.
And it just filters itself, and it goes up the wall. And I stand there and I sit there and watch it all day, man.
Great.
But it doesn't do the top skimming of the leaf. So then I get
that's what I did.
That's what I do. I get the leaf. You have to get the top.
I was my dad's pool skimmer and pool
I'm
vacuum
everybody, no
cleaner.
matter anybody house I go to. Keith Olbermann's, my buddy Julio out there in Sonoma, California. First thing I do is look for the pool skimmer thing, and I go out there, and that's what I chill.
Where's Olbermann's pool? He lives in a high rise.
No, when he was living in Connecticut, he had a pool in his backyard. I was his pool boy, man.
Yeah?
Back in the day.
My parents.
But yeah, Robin's dad's house out in Arizona.
Yeah.
First thing I would do, I'd say hi to her mom and dad at the time.
You always wanted to be the pool boy.
I really did.
From those movies.
Well, what was the TV show? Remember Charlie Steiner was a pool boy in one of the ESPN commercials, remember?
No.
That was one of the famous ESPN commercials. Charlie was the pool boy. Come on, Harry. There's a couple Philly guys are watching their robot pools right now on their mowers. They're sitting back, having a cold one, popping the baby open there. 215-462-8669, 215-462-TONY. And by the way, we have breaking news from a legitimate news source, Harry. The Babylon Bee, the most trusted name in journalism, has just released this. Nike, by the way, has just released a commemorative shoe to honor the looters. It is called Nike Loot Force 1. And of course, the slogan is, just loot it. And you can see the shoe, and it's really tight, Harry.
Yeah.
It's got on the front, if you have to go look at the Babylon Bee, a must follow. If you want the latest, I don't know if LeBron's endorsed it yet, but since it has a China logo on the front,
it does.
I believe he probably will eventually endorse this shoe and then supply them before all the Foot Lockers and all the shoe stores are looted once again. Make sure you get these before they run out. Detachable swoosh can be thrown like a batarang on the back.
Okay.
It has flame-resistant material for safe Molotov cocktail handling. And it also has a sleek design for making a clean getaway. And the cushioned soles for climbing through shattered windows.
Wow.
This is the shoe we've been waiting for from Beaverton, Oregon. So let's give it up to Nike once again. Phil Knight has his sunglasses on, and it's dark, but he is still cranking out the product that people want and need, Harry. The Nike Loot Force 1. Just looted, baby, in stores near you. LeBron will be signing those later on in Las Vegas when he's in there with Pete Rose in the Forum Shops outside of Caesar's Palace.
It's about damn time.
It is about damn time.
Did someone tell you that?
No, LeBron told me that. And when LeBron talks, I usually don't pay attention. Stick around, 215-462-TONY. We're coming back. More fun stuff still ahead. That's what it was, Melrose Place. Charlie Steiner, the episode was the Melrose Place back in the day, and they had a pool boy. What's her name was hitting on the pool boy?
How did he get that job?
Oh, because it was a promo,
I get it.
Okay.
So you're watching watching pool skimmers, but you're not watching the NBA.
Hell no, I'd rather watch somebody skim. I'd rather skim a pool. And
Heather
Heather
Locklear was
Heather
she in
Locklear
it?
was
Yeah.
in it.
I actually used to have to clean pools. It's not that much fun skimming them or vacuuming them.
No, but these new vacuums, this robot one,
Tony
is
loves it.
is
Seriously,
self-propelled.
though. Tony loves it for some reason.
Out of the Uline catalog, we used to tear that page out when we get it because it was like, well, that does a third of our job. I mean, we still have to be there to change trash bags and clean up the worst of the worst. Like,
Oh, wait, I have breaking news. Big Bill Kennedy 76 on Twitch chat room says the Apple Store in Center City are tracking all of their looted iPhones.
Yeah, they're going to call those guys and then give them a job and then have an award ceremony
I
for them
thought
at
of
the
that
Rizzo statue.
because all the phones have tracking mechanisms on it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid. Yeah, but still, I guess. Did I come up with a complaint voicemail name like the Tony Rant line?
Yeah, did we have any voicemails today?
Do we have any voicemails?
Yeah, we had a couple. Let me check.
Let me check.
We haven't had like any suggestions that go, oh, that's a great name yet.
We had the jack-off line, but jag-off line?
I like that.
The jack-off line?
Jag-off.
Oh, jag-off.
Jag-off is
can't-
much.
Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, jack-off is just masturbation. We don't do masturbation jokes on the show, Robin. Come on.
Jag-off line.
We have 3 new ones. Let's see if they're
So jag-off line is one. That's one suggestion that people do
Right.
like. Okay, jag-off line.
2 minutes.
Claire's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's very low-key, though.
Yeah, he is. A lot of those hockey players are.
See, the outrage, like a lot of these, I don't want people to think that the only thing that they can do on there is,
Be a nitwit.
yeah. Leave a rant or
right.
be outraged. It should be that something that encompasses everything, right?
Yes.
I got some lengthy ones. We got 2 that are
Like my rants? Are they like a Tony Bruno? You know what I was thinking of doing last night at 2 o'clock in the morning while I was still sitting up? I had to take a sleeping pill because I can't shut my brain off. I was thinking of calling it myself and putting like it's 2 a.m. Hi, Tony. This is Tony.
You should
It's 2
have.
o'clock
done
Tony
that.
right now.
Why didn't
I
you
may,
do
I may
that?
start doing that.
Yeah, just
it's like
do
Dear
that.
Diary. Dear Diary. It's 2 a.m.
We'll
now.
call it 2 a.m. Tony.
Oh, 2 a.m.
Tony. Yeah. All right, we got another message.
We got another
2 a.m.
We need a sponsor for 2 a.m. Tony.
2 a.m. Tony thoughts.
Yes.
Oh.
That would be like Tuesdays with Morty.
Oh.
It's 2 a.m. Tony.
About 45 seconds.
Oh, this is brilliant. I have to put it on the calendar now. 2 a.m. Tony. Deep thoughts with Bruno. Tony makes prank phone calls to himself. Yes. But I do like 2 a.m. Tony line.
I may do it in my
We'll make it sound like you're on Ambien doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be my, what do you call it, Robin? My energy saver mode, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of being a raving rant, it'll be like me, like I talk when I'm like just chilling. Hey, 2 a.m. Tony. T-shirt, 2 a.m. Tony. All right.
Now, I've
It's only
got
if it catches on.
a tweet here from one of the porn girls that I follow.
Really?
And she's
DM?
out.
Did she DM you?
No, she's out in Venice with a picture of the peaceful protest
Wow.
that has been going on since 8 a.m.
Silk bra out there?
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes on SiriusXM 211.
See, even during the breaks, Harry, it's just a constant Zoom session, except we're all right around each other.
Well, yeah, it's
And the people-
brainstorming.
It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
This show it evolves. It morphs. It's just a constant. It's like a laboratory. The beakers are going. The beaker's in the corner, from Sesame Street.
Sometimes stuff bubbles
Not
over.
Sesame Street. He was from the Muppets.
The Muppets,
Beaker.
yes, Beaker.
May have the Bunsen burners going.
And sometimes stuff bubbles
over and stuff.
And you got to clean it up.
So we're thinking of the used to be the outrage line or the jag-off line. You know, our recorded line, Robin. What's the phone number to call to leave a recorded message? By the way, did you change the recorded message?
I have not changed it yet.
Are you serious right now, Robin?
I'm still congratulating people.
I wonder why people hang up. You can't start a phone call with congratulations without being marked as spam.
Okay, whatever.
And put on the do not disturb list. It's pretty interesting when you call a number and then immediately put it on the do not disturb list. It usually works the other way around, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What is the phone number to call if you're like 2 a.m. Tony? I'm going to do a new segment.
Yes.
It's going to be 2 a.m. Before I go to bed, I'll be calling my own outrage. It's not an outrage line because you don't have to be outraged.
Yeah.
Right. We don't want that to be, where people think they have to be outraged in order to call the line.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You can just call the anytime line.
Yeah.
But we need to come up with a better name. But anyway, if you would like to call it for whatever reason, it is 856-818-4045. That's 856-818-4045.
Operators are standing by. Actually, they're not.
No.
It's a recorded
No,
line.
they're not.
And you'll get a special recorded message.
We can't afford them.
Exactly. And if you call later on, I'll give a special recorded, guaranteed Tuesday night Korean baseball lock, absolutely free.
Tony, what about the name that you used forever, the Sports Yak? The Sports
Because
Yak
it's
line.
not just about sports yakking anymore. There is no sports.
There is no sports.
It's got to be about everything that matters. People are outraged. People are they want to chill. It's 2 o'clock. Listen, I can't go to bed before 2 a.m. I have to take sleeping pills every night.
Right.
Because I hear explosions and stuff. I'm serious. I'm being serious here.
Right.
You hear explosions going on. Robin's son's calling. He's worried about explosions.
Mm-hmm.
This is not what we're used to.
No.
I'm not a wuss. I'm not afraid to go outside and take on some sucker if they want to come around.
Let's just say the stress level, maybe you noticed,
Might
is
be
high right
Yes,
now
yes.
in this house.
And so a lot of people need to vent.
Hunch.
Instead of calling a psychologist, and having them charge you $100 for a minute to try to calm you down. And I recommend that if you do need help during the day. But at 2 in the morning, you got nobody to talk to.
Call us.
Tony.
We love to party.
Exactly.
We might have a good suggestion, the Dear Bruno line.
The die drunk line?
No, Dear Bruno.
I know. I'm looking at other ones too, Robin. This is an open forum here right now.
Hey, Joey Bonaco says you need to go to sleep. Just listen to your McMullen segment.
Oh, see, that's wrong, man. That's just wrong, man.
Oh, my God.
That is just wrong. Oh, look how much money I'm saving people on dangerous sleeping pills. No need to have Ambien anymore. My doctor won't even prescribe Ambien for me anymore.
Why?
Because he says he's not allowed to.
Oh, you've done too much?
No, I have one prescription of Ambien. And it lasted, and I would just cut them in half. And I didn't take them every night. I was never addicted to them because they're dangerous.
One 30-day supply would last like a year.
You smash them up and snort
exactly.
No.
Do a line. I'd get the. I got the plastic straws when they were still legal.
But Ambien is not being prescribed as
no,
often as it was.
I'm not kidding. When I go to my doctor when we could go to doctors.
Well, what's the deal? Like why?
Because it's a controlled substance. And here's my doctor who prescribed it for me. Now I'm not going to some Dr. Kush and trying to buy it off the street.
Right.
I went to my actual doctor, and he said, "All right, you need any prescriptions renewed?" And I said, "Well, he knows all my prescriptions. He prescribed the stuff."
Right.
And I said, "I haven't had an Ambien for a long time, and it's lasted a year. You can see when you wrote the prescription there was no refills." And he says, "I can't do that anymore. I can't write a prescription for Ambien."
So nobody's taking Ambien anymore.
I guess they are if they can get it, unless they have a crooked doctor.
Wow.
But he was told that right now doctors are being told do not prescribe Ambien or any of these other drugs that people then sell to their friends on the streets, all these opioids. So at least there's some concern. But, I mean, if it's your doctor, and I'm not asking for 100-pack of Ambiens. I'm not asking for free. I call Roman for that. I don't need any dick pills. I'll call what's-his-face. I'll call Jimmy. No, I'll call. That's not bad. You can say that.
Yeah. In that context?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's news to me.
Come on, man.
No, it's news to me too. We'll double check on
I think
that.
we're rewriting a lot of rules of radio.
We make
today.
the rules. There's no rules
There
anymore.
are no
Have you
rules.
looked outside?
This is anarchy.
I actually keep a log over here of things that I need to.
This is radio anarchy.
This is lawless radio. Hey, we're the outlaws.
All right, I have another one.
Our
Padre.
police commissioner's named Outlaw. How do you expect any peace on the streets, Harry, when we have a police commissioner whose name is Outlaw?
I know, it doesn't make
What
sense.
message is? Why couldn't she change her name?
Oh, the irony.
I have another suggestion tonight. The Padre Bruno line.
No, I'm not.
No?
I'm not doing any religious stuff.
No?
Yeah.
Now, if you
Okay.
want to leave money, you can maybe leave a. You can't leave a donation on the line. You can leave it on the Twitch stream, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, follow us on twitch.tv, Tony Bruno Show. It doesn't cost you anything. Download the app and then leave us bits. And your bits could lead to bigger and better things for all of America. I will be able to get people released from prison after breaking windows and stuff. Because those people need, and they're going to be let out, by the way, by our district attorney this weekend. You heard that. The looters have been arrested.
Well, either that or you pay their bail.
I'll pay their bail. We don't have bail in this town.
Oh.
Everybody gets out of jail card free. You get an out of jail free card. You get out of jail free.
Pillow
And by the-
talk? Pillow talk
Pillow
line?
talk.
Do you like the pillow talk line?
Well, that's assuming that people only call during the
Yeah,
night.
it's 24/7.
Yeah.
This isn't a 2
This is
a.m.
like
only.
Gronkowski's belt. It's 24/7. You can call anytime and from any
Even
place.
during the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
How about the
24/7
24/7 line?
Other than that, as Jose, what?
Other than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. All right, I have a tweet here from @KissaSins.
Kissa
Tony.
Sins?
Yeah, Kissa is someone I follow from the industry.
Oh, Kissa.
Yeah, and she's out in
Is that her real name?
Yes. Your old neck of the woods in Venice. And it shows a nice picture of the street, and there's tons of people everywhere.
Is Silk Bra there?
He might be. Now, I wouldn't doubt if he's
I
here.
think he's down in Huntington Beach. He's way down in
Oh, you
Orange
think so?
County. Yeah.
All
He's
right.
a ritzy guy.
Peaceful protest hasn't stopped since 8 a.m. So that's what? It's almost 2 o'clock in L.A.
Right.
So this has been going 6 hours.
Hey, have you been to Venice Beach, Aaron?
A peaceful
it never
protest.
ends. Right now, if I were still there, I'd be doing my drum circle.
Yeah?
Right there, right near where they work out, right in Venice Beach, Harry.
Not one bad incident. Everyone is united. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is, and that's what we want to see.
Exactly. That's my point.
That's what we want to see, brah. It's a matter. I love protesting. I'll protest anything. But thou dost protest too much, though. Whatever happened to that saying?
I don't know.
I guess you can't. That should go. That should be stricken too. That's something that should be removed, right?
I don't know.
Thou doth protest
too much.
Protest too much.
Yes.
Who are you to telling me that I protest too much? That's what I do. That's what I'm paid to do, Harry. That's why we're here. Brah? No, wait till the sun goes down is wrong. I lived in Venice for 11 years. When the sun goes down, you know what happens.
Well, yeah.
Over Santa Monica Boulevard, then they start playing, what's her name? Sheryl Crow songs.
Yeah.
We get out the drum circles, right? You'll smell weed, maybe.
There's a Kenny Chesney song, too, When the Sun Goes Down.
Not as good as Sheryl Crow, brah. Sheryl Crow. She knew Lance Armstrong when he had two nuts. I mean, come on, Harry. She was there when he was 100% man. Man. Now, we can't answer the numbers live. We can't answer the call-in line.
What are they calling the voicemail?
They just call voicemail. It goes directly to voicemail.
I know. We don't answer when we're live on the show. It's a separate line.
The
regular call-in line during the show is 215-462-TONY. 215-462-8669. Do we have time to take a call here before we go to the top of the hour? It's going to have to be a quickie.
I don't know. Let's just hold them.
Can we? Let's hold them over to the break. Let's hold them over. I don't want to rush anything.
And
you know how?
then we got Sid.
Relax. Just relax. Sid Rosenberg will have a recap of what's left of New York City after last night. They can't use the subways. Remember the last time we had him on, he says he takes the subway. He's got no subways. He's got no Macy's.
Right.
He's got no Fifth Avenue, no Madison Avenue. He can't even play the song from Green Acres when, remember the wife? Not Zsa Zsa, Ava Gabor.
Ava Gabor,
would
yeah.
sing, I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
Right.
Park Avenue's gone.
It is?
It's gone. New York has fallen.
What about the Ramble? Is that still there where you can go walk your dog, but it has to be on a leash? And
Where, in Venice?
No, in Central Park.
What do I look like? That's why we have a correspondent there.
That's right.
Stick around. We're coming back much more.
It's so funny. The
I got 2 nuts Bruno voicemail line sponsored by Kisses Sins.
the transcription service for the voicemail.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 5737, right?
Sometimes it really doesn't make sense. You're like, what the heck? So, do you want me to play any of the voicemails?
Are they any good? Are they any good?
Well, I can. You can kind of get the gist of what.
I know Lacey's got looted. That's why we have Sid on. I was watching it live. Come on, man. What do you think I'm up doing at 2 o'clock in the morning? I'm watching New York burn and fall to the ground.
So this one's good.
Tony's Bales bonds? No, that'd be different, yeah.
I like
formerly Chico's, formerly Nunzio's, formerly Guido's.
I kind of like the 24/7 line. I mean, short, sweet, to the point.
I didn't even know there was a 24/7 champion. Are you serious?
Yeah,
In WWE, there's
he won it at WrestleMania. That's what
the 20.
Yeah.
Was that the what's the other stupid thing they have? Not the King of the Cage and the ladder matches and all these other championships.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
where did they get the 24/7 champion?
They just made it up.
7-Eleven?
Yeah.
Is there a 7-Eleven champion? Sponsored by Wawa.
Listen to this voicemail, right?
Bruno's bitch box. That's the Swedish chef checking in. The intern now.
Okay. Tony, shush.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
I like that.
I touch myself.
I like that.
The 4th floor stall checks in.
Of course it does.
Yeah. The only explosions I'm used to is when one of the Sun twins would eat a 15-month-old break room fridge mystery hoagie and then come visit me. Oh, my God. Oh, my
So we
God.
have
Wait, Mike in Virginia checks in and says, today is the best show ever.
we have two pretty good voicemails to play.
Let's go to the voicemail secret Textoso voicemail line.
Should we call it the 24/7 line?
No, the 24/7 emergency Bruno rant line.
But we don't want to say rant.
It's not a rant.
It doesn't have to be. It
It's
can
not
be.
the sound off line or the jag off line.
Anything goes line?
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes on SiriusXM 211.
Keeping it real, keeping it raw. And as the great Sammy Sosa once said, Harry Mays,
just keep it continue the same thing.
Just keep it continue the same thing, baby. That's what we're here every day, consistency. We don't take any days off. We don't take any time off. We don't bring you half-baked shows, although we do watch Half-Baked when it's on at 2 a.m. some nights if you want to chill out. One of the great cinematic tour de forces of all time, Harry. Half-Baked. We're totally baked today. And I don't mean in a wowie kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Is there any other kind?
I don't do that stuff. You know me, Harry.
Yeah.
If I want to get high, I'll just go to a Dave Matthews concert or just go walk in Center City when it's safe to walk again and move about our city.
All right.
The city of brotherly love. Meanwhile, we're going to play some recorded calls from the 24/7 line. Now, there's a lot of names coming in. The Bruno Bitch Botch is one box. But let's go to Trevor.
We also have a live call
Let's
first.
go to a live call.
He's been hanging on for a while.
And these are not live girls direct to your room.
No.
That's only in Vegas when you see all those things. That's my favorite thing in Vegas. Prostitution is not legal inside Las Vegas, but there's roving trucks up and down the strip when the strip's open.
Yeah.
They say girls direct to your room. As a man, let's find out if Trevor's ever had a girl direct to his room up there in Connecticut. What's going on, man?
Unless it's a girl I've called over, she's always directed to my room anytime she wants. But right now, it's not happening. Coronavirus,
and social distancing. I don't want no riots near my house.
Not in my house. In my house, the only social distancing that I observe is
2 chicks at the same time, man.
Haven't you heard, Trevor? The coronavirus is over.
It's over. It is officially over.
I saw Mike North tweeted it. I guess it's all good to go. I don't have to wear my mask anymore. I don't have to wear plastic gloves. I don't have to be like a bubble boy anymore. So I'm good to go.
No, Mike North, the great Mike North in Chicago, he tweeted it, and I followed it up this morning. I want the nation to know that at least we've gotten rid of one problem. The Rona's dead, Harry.
Yeah.
The CDC is saying it.
They are?
Yes.
They should be. They should be saying it that now we can bring back the sport that's fire and ice of the hockey playoffs and not the NBA playoffs, which they can be deported to China.
China. The hockey pucks, by the way, have been guaranteed not to be from China. I believe the president has signed an executive order today. This is just in from my direct line to the White House, Harry. The president of the United States has signed an executive order that when the NHL playoffs resume, there will be no goalie pads, no sticks, and no pucks. From where, Harry?
China.
Canada's okay because we need Canadians, and they need us to make this all work. Because without Canada, we have no National Hockey League, Harry, do we?
No, we do not. And also, the more breaking news, Harry will bet on some hockey action, yo.
Harry will bet on anything.
All right.
He's waiting for Highlight to come back down there in Miami.
Hold on, though. Apparently, according to the internet, NHL hockey pucks are made in only 4 countries.
Oh, this is breaking news. Let's get to it.
Ooh.
Canada.
Yep.
The Czech Republic.
That's all right. They got Jake Voracek over there. That's how he brings him right over.
Russia. And China.
No!
Yes.
Get the president on the line.
None of
I
them
have
are
a direct.
here?
Where's my red phone to the White House? To the Situation Room, not the one with Wolf Blitzer. The one in the White House, if it's still standing at this hour.
That's right. There you go.
What we need to do now is that we need to bring back the 2-piece wooden stick, and we'll be good to go for hockey action.
Exactly. I want Milek. Are Milek sticks made in the United States or China?
The greatest street hockey sticks. Yes.
If I see a Milek street hockey stick in my neighborhood, I'm going out and I'm ripping it from that kid's cold, dead hands.
I got my Sherwood hockey stick ready to go. I know Dean's got his ho-ho hockey stick as well.
That's right.
Exactly right. Dean and I have exchanged swinging ho-ho hockey sticks at each other in a Walmart in Clearwater, Florida. Not too long past distant, Harry. We were down there. We went into the hockey stick. Am I making this up, Robin?
No.
Were Dean and I not going in and grabbing hockey sticks in a Walmart in Clearwater before it was safe, when it was safe to go out. And we were having a stick-swinging incident in Walmart, and nobody paid attention because it was pretty normal behavior for Walmarts.
See why I don't go in there?
We don't wear jorts. We weren't wearing jorts. I didn't have my plumber's butt.
Yep.
You're not looking like a St. Louis Cardinal fan. It was a white tank top, shorts, and hiking boots.
Exactly right, man. That's some good knowledge right there. And the question is,
Who does that? Who has time?
a lot of people right now, because they don't have jobs. They can't do anything except riot and go out and protest and listen to sports radio.
Not Ryan the Riot Perio from your Chicago Cubs and LSU Tigers.
That is great knowledge, man.
By the way, my buddy's big Cubs fan. My birthday's coming up Saturday.
Saturday?
My buddy sent me
Wait, what's the date? The 6th?
June 6th, D-Day, baby.
D-Day, man.
He sent me his old, authentic, white Chicago Cubs pinstripe Ryan Terrio jersey as a gift.
Not Denny Terrio. Not Denny Terrio, the host of
Dancing
Fever.
on Air.
No, Dance Fever, I think he did, right?
Yeah, it was Dance Fever.
It was a national show. None of this local crap.
Yeah, Dancing on Air was a local show.
And you know who else was involved in Dancing on Air, the local show?
Was it
our own
Dick Clark?
Well, no. There was a couple local guys.
Oh.
But the man who's one of our main technical guys, who's not here today.
Pat Kineen?
Pat Kineen was a Dancing on Air guy.
Because the girl I brought to my high school prom was a dancer on Dancing on Air.
Well, I was a dancer on Aquarama back with Ed Hurst back in the day, but that's long way in the past, Aaron. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
And also, my other buddy sent me a Mike Fontenot Cubs jersey for another birthday gift for me to come out to Chicago for a Cubs game.
One thing I will never give up. I will never give up my Wes Unseld, Baltimore Bullets, number 41, Hall of Fame jersey, brother.
That's a great jersey, by the way. It's beats by Sean Marion's son's jersey.
What's the next obscure Cubs player you want a jersey for, Trevor? My God.
Come on, man.
My buddies want me to come to Chicago for a Cubs game this year, but Rona happened. That's why.
Jeez.
Rona, I met her at. She was in the bleachers out there, right behind the ivy. She used to hang out before the ivy would grow in.
Not Mona Wales, a great adult star. Harry should probably know about her.
Who? What's her name?
Not Kiss of
Mona
Sins.
Wales.
Mona
Wales.
Are you
No, that
serious?
doesn't sound like somebody I'd.
It sounds fishy
follow.
to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to.
Harry, look it up right now on the Twitter.
Come on, man.
No.
That's the problem. I don't know a lot of these new faces, Harry.
Yeah, that doesn't
I'm an
sound
old
like a
school
new one.
guy. You bring out the old school.
I bring that. I educate Harry with the new people he needs to invest in.
No, Harry's keeps
He's got
impressed.
Bella
Look, trust
Taylor,
me.
He's got Lisa Ann and
Look,
Brandy Love. You guys get to look at the new ones.
Harry's got a lifetime membership to Brazzers.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
I have enough trouble keeping up with the girls I know. Jesus. She's 35 years old, this Mona Wales.
Mona Wales?
Yeah.
I remember when she was a guppy, when she was on the side stage at cheerleaders, Harry, back in the day.
Warming up for Sophie D.
God, I love Sophie D. Wow. Do you have a Matt Garza Cubs jersey by any chance?
My buddy has one, by the way, a blue one.
It's awesome, man.
As he lives in Wrigleyville right now, he's probably screaming at me, Trevor, why are you giving away all my
Listen,
bad
man,
jerseys right now?
I love this kind of deep baseball discussion.
Yeah.
You're not getting this kind of talk, even on MLB Network.
I think we need to go to the voicemail line now.
Let's go. Hey, you're getting me jonesing for baseball, but we already talked hockey. No
Thanks,
more baseball.
Trev.
Remember, the rest of the show, no more baseball and no more NBA
Well, I
talk.
have an NBA update.
No,
from
I'm
Woj.
sorry, Harry. We are
This is
NBA
important
free zone.
information.
Did they fold the league? Did LeBron say, screw it, I'm too busy sitting in my mansion that I spray painted to make people think that there's racists coming to my house and breaking down my wall and getting through my 72 heavily armed guards to get to me?
No, it's not that.
All right, I'll give you an I'll give you 10 seconds for an update.
All right, from Woj ESPN, this is 10 minutes ago. The NBA models a 22-team format for a July...
NBA models, are they Instagram?
Yes.
Oh, okay, check.
For a July 31st resumption in Orlando. So 22 teams, July 31st. The proposed timeline for the teams as the last possible date for an NBA Finals, Game 7. The last possible date would be October the 12th. So that's as long as the season could run. Max.
Did you say Friday, July 31st?
Well, it's July 31st. I don't know if it's
a Friday night.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
I think I'm the closest without going over.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, let's give Robin a roaring
Because I said
round
the
of applause.
20th, you said the 27th,
What
right?
did I say? Yes, I wrote it down.
You said the week before.
I said the
I think you said hopefully never.
I said hopefully. Now I upgraded that. I said the 13th.
Yeah.
See, I was more optimistic. Now I'm completely pessimistic. Now I don't want them ever to come back. July 31st on a Friday night?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bowling night. Oh, darn. Let me know if Ben Simmons makes a jumper. Jumper?
Here are the names for the text line.
We have the top 8 answers on the board. But let's go to one of our whatever the line is.
Voicemails?
The voice box, the bat phone, the jag-off line, whatever, the 24/7 line. These are some of the calls previously recorded.
Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Carey. It's Steve Stone. The beautiful Wrigley Field. Today is a doubleheader. Philadelphia Phillies come to town to play your Chicago Cubs. Did you know I am a Bud man? And a Cub fan. Holy cow. Joe Boy, play action real. Give me a shout out, Tony, Harry, Miss Robin, Joe C, Joe Kraus. You got, was that Ryan in the background? Looks like a Ben Wallace jersey. I don't know what jersey that is. So much fun. Thank you for, I'm out of breath, but thank you for being there for us. We need the laughs. You know, you're a godsend, Tony. I'll keep on keeping on like you do, my man. And I am out. Rack 'em.
Rack that guy.
Rack him.
Rack that guy.
Okay, one more.
One more.
One more.
I mean, a little taste. Just a little taste, Robin. Just a little bit.
Do we have a dump button just in case? Because I have, I mean, just so that you know. Okay.
Hi, Tony, Robin, Harry. This is Rob from Buffalo. Longtime listener from all the shows. 2 questions. Number one is, and I wish I would have some love, but I heard your Linda Cohn interview, and I wish Tony would have ended with your favorite lines. Get out, Linda. Get out. And then the second thing I meant to ask is, 2 years ago, I met Frank Saravelli when he's covering something in Buffalo, and I asked if there was love with Frank with you, and I got a lukewarm from Frank saying about you that he's okay. So
that's a ringing endorsement from Frank Saravelli. I never had a problem with Frank Saravelli.
Does he need more Grecian formula to cover all that gray hair or not? So
didn't Frank Saravelli, wasn't he deported to Canada, Frank Saravelli?
They have a glass Tito's in honor of you right now. So thanks.
You know Frank Saravelli?
Yeah, sure. I played golf with him a few times.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Why would he
really
not like
nice
me?
dude. I have no idea.
I'm one of the few guys in this city who even talks hockey. All these other strappers ignore it, except for our boy Mertitas. How many guys talk hockey in Philadelphia?
Not a lot.
There are all these honks talk NBA 24/7 and then salivate over the Sixers who haven't won squat since 1983 before most of them were even born.
Yeah, he works for TSN.
You know what the worst part of that call was? I was talking to him like it was a live phone call.
I know.
So, see what happens? Because I want to be interactive.
I know.
I just want to be interactive.
You want to be interactive. I do not.
Harry and I were just looking for
I want to be inactive.
Yeah. We were kind of looking forward to a few moments of peace.
Yeah.
Just remember, as Hugh Downs used to say on 2020 on Friday nights on ABC back in the day with Barbara Wawa, you're in touch, so we're in touch. 2020 with Barbara Wawa. Maybe the strapper line. That's another good suggestion, Harry.
That might not
the
be
strapper
bad.
line.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
That's actually pretty good.
The
strapper line?
Yeah.
Exactly. See, there's a lot of brain power going on here.
Write that
Coming
one
up-
down, Tony.
You know, we're going to go to New York. So nice they looted it twice. The great Sid Rosenberg will join us next. We'll find out what's still standing if you plan on going to New York in the immediate future. Or maybe not for the rest of the year or ever. That's coming up next. Stick around.
Hubba Hubba says Strapper Line is the winner.
The strapper
or Strap On Line.
Strapper.
Not strap on.
No.
Come on.
Here, Tony, let me write the strapper.
Not the strap-on line. I love that.
Tony, give it back to me. I'm gonna write
strapper line.
Strapper line. People are liking the strapper line.
Strapper's one of those uncut gems, Harry.
Yeah.
Strapper line.
In my opinion, that sucked.
Strapper line might be the winner.
There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Damn right.
Strapper line, I think that we could feel it as soon as it was said out loud, right?
Yeah.
I think that might be the winner. Strapper line.
Let's go live to Center City, Philadelphia right now.
Strapper voicemail. Should be just strapper line or strapper voicemail?
No, the strapper line.
Strapper line. Strapper line.
Strapper.
Okay. I'm changing it now. I don't think you even have to look for anything else, right?
24/7 strapper line?
Yeah, or do you just keep it simple?
How about?
You're going to love my nuts.
Yeah, that's the you're going to love my nuts line.
Do we keep it simple? Just the strapper line? It doesn't, or 24/7. I'm going to put 24/7, but we're going to just call it the strapper line.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. There we go.
Good compromise. Minute and a half.
All right. So
I am a man.
This is the
Can't believe I have all these.
24/7 strapper line. Boom.
These promos are great, are they not? You did a great. Who did that? Was that you?
Andrew.
That's Andrew up in.
Yeah, that's
up at SB Nation.
SB Nation, and then they were
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Alignment center.
Hey, Azang essay.
Lock, unlock.
Why you keep trying to read that word? You a fag? Fag your face.
We seem to be experimenting some technological differences.
JMA 158. Harry, that broad put out? Who was that? I don't know who he's talking about.
Name, strapper line.
People know they recognize the Idiocracy drops that are in the system, too. Josie, did you hear those? You're an Idiocracy fan?
We just
saw it like a couple weeks ago, late night.
It's sad because there's so many things you're like, oh, my God, this is our future.
Harry, the Houston 500 chick.
About to come back. Oh, that's Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was
Houston, hello.
Pretty nasty.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes on SiriusXM 211.
Seems like we've found a consensus now, which is what this show is all about. It's a true democracy.
Yes.
It's not just one vote. I don't overrule. I listen to the congregation, and then we finally reach a conclusion.
Yeah, you're not an autocrat.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I don't write executive orders. I just make decrees.
We had 8 good suggestions, and then somebody came in with the 9th, and everybody, as soon as you heard it, you're like, that's it. That's it. That's the winner.
The strapper line.
It's the strapper line.
The 24/7 strapper line. And I got a guy who knows about strappers because he lives in New York.
He works with one.
And he works with a strapper. And there's a lot of strappers in New York. And not the strap hangers who used to be able to ride the subways in New York when they had subways that actually functioned before the city had to be shut down. The host of the Great Morning Show with that Bernie guy.
Bernie and Sid in the morning.
Bernie and Sid in the morning in New York, New York. So nice they looted it twice. The great Sid Rosenberg. Sid, how are you making it to work? No subways, no buses, no Macy's. How am I going to go in and get a Donald Trump tie now?
First of all, great to be back with you guys, Tony, Harry, and Bob. And second of all, there are subways, and I still take the subway to work every single day. They shut it down between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. The first train that hits my station on the Upper West Side arrives at 5:10 a.m. It gets me to Madison Square Garden at about 5:30 a.m. for my 6:10 a.m. start. So I have not missed one day. I've been on the subways from the very, very beginning, and they are operating. In fact, there's more and more people on the subway, guys, the last couple of weeks, since we're starting to see more and more people pretty much stick up their middle finger to the politicians here in terms of this ridiculous pandemic. And now you got this ridiculous pandemic, and now you got these animals up here rioting every single day. New York City's a mess, guys. No one else but the governor, Andrew Cuomo, the mayor, Bill de Blasio. They are ruining the city and the state by the second.
Yeah, and I don't like to get into politics, but now you got the mayor, de Blasio, who's a total zero. The worst part about de Blasio is not only did the people in New York vote for this guy once, they voted for him again.
Yeah.
And people can rip Trump all they want, and he does a lot of stupid things, but this guy said curfew at 11 o'clock. And basically said, New York, it's a city that never sleeps. Unfortunately, it's a city that riots. They start rioting at 11 o'clock, for God's sake.
No, it didn't make any sense. Now, look, they push it back tonight to 8 o'clock, but, of course, it's a day late and $1 short. So you're right. It didn't make any sense to start the curfew at 11 o'clock. By 11 o'clock last night, they had ravaged Midtown Manhattan. I mean, guys, I work at Madison Square Garden right across the street from Macy's. Now, that Macy's is closed. I know that, but that is one of the more epic places in this country, Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah.
You guys know Macy's at Herald Square.
Absolutely.
These animals they got into that place last night, as well as tons of fancy stores down in Soho. Tonight they're expected to hit the Upper East Side. So, the 11 o'clock curfew did nothing. You got to do it like 7, 8 o'clock like tonight. And they didn't do it last night, but they are doing it tonight. I mean, it's really like Laurel and Hardy. It's like Abbott and Costello. They have the two of those guys together. They make mistakes day by day, and they try to fix it when it's already too late.
Have you called a realtor yet?
It's funny you say that. I have. Now, I live in Manhattan, guys. I live in a very ritzy area.
the worst people God ever created. I mean, the worst people, the biggest liberal scumbags, men and women, by the way, on 103rd and
I'm glad you made sure you could blame the women equally. I don't want to just blame the liberal slimeball men in New York City. I want to blame the liberal slimeball women, too.
And the women are worse, because I got to tell you guys, I can't tell you how many times I've been yelled at by some white-haired woman to put my mask on. I would say 80% of the time that I get yelled at in New York City, it's a woman. Not even a man, but yes, I've inquired about moving to Brooklyn or Queens. I am getting out of the city. I'm not going to leave New York, guys, because listen, I got a great job and I make a lot of money. So I'm not leaving yet. They can't pay me like this in Boca, but at least I'm getting out of New York City. That I can tell you.
Now, are the tanning salons? Have they looted the tanning salons and walked out with beds yet? Tanning beds? Because if that happens, I don't see you surviving.
No.
There's no way you can survive if they start looting the tanning salons.
Well, here's the good news, guys, because my guy still opens a tanning salon for me once a week, but he stopped about 2 weeks ago because we've had temperatures like you guys in the mid-70s and low 80s. So, in fact, if you go to my Instagram right now, at Sid Rosenberg, or my Twitter, at Sid Rosenberg, you're going to see an August tan. I mean, I hate to brag about myself, but I look amazing.
Oh, is it a Band de Soleil tan for that deep, dark Band de Soleil for the Saint-Tropez tan?
It is.
Nice. Nicely done. So, listen, I don't need tanning salons anymore. It's sunny. It's hot out.
And you know what else that does? You know what else that sun does? The UV rays have killed the Rona.
That's right.
Now there's no more social distancing. Everybody gets out. Everybody parties in New York City, baby. Let's go to Studio 54. Are they open again yet? I need to go down there and get in line, man.
Oh, my God, I used to love that place. They'll never open again because Steve Bufel is dead. You can't bring that back. Tony, that's over. But you know what's funny? Here we were day after day being yelled at about social distancing and wear your mask. If you don't do it, you're going to die, and you're selfish, and you don't care about Grandpa Harry and blah, blah, blah. You got thousands of protesters here in New York City. They're not even protesters. They're rioters. They're animals. They're people lowlives. And at no point did Cuomo or de Blasio talk about social distancing or masks when they were actually applauding these rioters for doing what they were doing. I mean, de Blasio's daughter got arrested. The mayor of New York City, his daughter got arrested this Sunday on Saturday night. And what did he say this morning? You can't make this up, guys. I'm proud of her.
Yeah. I can't believe she didn't get back into Macy's last night. I mean, last night was real. She went out a night too soon. Last night she could have had a run of Madison Avenue, Fifth Avenue, Herald Square. You know the stuff. She could have had his big SUV pull right up in front of these stores, and she could take stuff out, throw them in, and then jump in and have her chauffeur to the next store that was being looted.
You're not kidding. That's exactly the way it went. I mean, you had guys that went from Chanel to Gucci, to the Nike store, to some electronics stores, to Best Buy. You're not kidding. They were setting up bands, and it was just unbelievable. You know, usually packs of 4 or 5, but in some cases packs of 12 or 15, and we're not out of it yet. Again, I just left my building to come outside and call you guys. My doorman is ready to lock it down at 8 o'clock tonight. You cannot leave and or enter the building unless it's a dire emergency. I've been told already the Upper East Side will be attacked tonight. Also places on Long Island where Bernie lives, in fact, my partner. Very ritzy part of Lido Beach and Atlantic Beach. They are in store for some havoc tonight. So we're not even close to being done. I actually got a piece of info today from a cop in New Jersey who told me a lot of the real bad guys are flying into New York from Minnesota. Now, Minnesota's a little quieter to actually cause more havoc here. They really want to destroy New York City. So I hate to say it, folks, but we ain't seen nothing yet.
Wow, and that's a crime, crossing state lines to essentially riot,
and crossing
right?
streams, too, and don't cross the stream. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. Now, we're joking around here, Sid, but I'm serious. The bottom line is the governor of New York is now, who said he doesn't want any federal help yesterday, now all of a sudden is blaming de Blasio, the mayor of New York, for not accepting the National Guard to go in there. Now, you talk about two doofuses. Yeah. That Goomba greaseball Cuomo, they both should be, they know what they should do? Cuomo and de Blasio should have a duel right there in Times Square.
In the Octagon.
Right in the middle of Times Square. Clear the area and let those two guys have a duel to the death.
Yeah.
And they both, and it ends in a tie.
And then Sid comes over the top and beats the crap out of both of them.
Yeah, and he does a chokehold.
Yeah, you would love that.
He does a chokehold. He does a chokehold, which now is going to be banned when Joe Biden becomes president. No more chokeholds.
God, don't say that.
But the camel clutch, the DDP,
and the heart punch.
The heart punch.
The heart punch.
And what's the other one that I said?
The figure four leg lock is still in.
Yes, still okay.
Right.
Only on the Tony Bruno show were you getting Diamond Dallas Page reference.
DDP,
Sealy, by the way.
Exactly right, baby.
He was always a great interview down in Florida for me. But on a serious note, Bill de Blasio, people think he's just a buffoon, he's a dummy. Cuomo's got no excuse. He's not a stupid guy, Andrew Cuomo.
No.
He's not. He's got this agenda. He wants to be president, whether it's 2020 or 2024. He bends over for the liberals. He does what they want. I mean, he's out there. Not only is he blaming Bill de Blasio, he blames President Trump every day, and now he's blaming the cops. So now the second cop in New York, Terrence Monahan, moments ago in the New York Post, just blasted Andrew Cuomo. He said, Andrew, I got 8,000 guys and girls out there. They're bleeding every single night. They're being thrown rockets, rocks thrown at them, and bottles thrown at them, and being cursed at and spit out by these lowlines all over New York City. And you're going to blame the cops? Well, you're sitting there up in Albany, pointing your finger, telling everybody what to do and what not to do with your beautiful tan, your brand new blue suit. So de Blasio was just a buffoon. Cuomo, he's an evil mother effer.
Now, whose tan's better, you? Because I want to hear Chris Cuomo and his brother discuss tans tonight when he's pretending nothing happened. Are they going to say Sid Rosenberg? Is Chris Cuomo going to say to his brother Andy, hey, I saw Sid Rosenberg earlier today. His tan looks better than yours, man. Why don't you get up on the same rooftop in New York as Sid does
and get a mirror out
and get the UV rays, man, to get rid of the Rona for sure.
Well, I think what you should do right now, Tony, with the help of Harry and Robin, is get a picture, a most recent picture this afternoon of Andrew Cuomo at his briefing. Take my picture that I posted today from my studios at WABC in New York, put them side by side, and let the people tell you who's got the better tan, Cuomo or me. I'm going to win that hands down. It's not even going to be close. Now,
I think that's a fair way to let the people decide. I love the way this is a democracy. This is a democracy, Sid.
It looks like Sid went to the sun this weekend. You see that picture? Jesus.
I'm sure the New York politicians want to shoot him to the sun.
I know.
Are you kidding me? Damn, you're scary looking. You got to get that shine off there, man. It's a great, deep, dark, delicious tan. But you got to get that shine. Where's the makeup? Where's the MAC? Did you loot the MAC store when did you run into Macy's and get some MAC?
No, Sephora. I think he went Sephora.
No, he's a MAC guy.
He is?
MAC. That's the makeup I use.
Guys, I would go on Fox News quite a bit, actually, a couple of years ago when Eric Bowling was still there with the young ladies. And they would work on me and make up for a good 30 minutes, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I mean, ships can dock based on the lighting coming off my head at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't seem to fix that. I don't know what the hell it is. I can't get rid of it.
I heard they're going to ask you to stand on top of the Empire State Building as a beacon for all the new looters to come into town to let everybody know this is it. This is right here, Midtown Manhattan, Empire State Building. You look like King Kong before the airplane starts flying around and shooting at you, trying to knock you off the building.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, Sid, I have a question. I have a question for you. So we've been walking around our neighborhood here and talking to local shop owners and neighbors that live in the neighborhood and how they feel about what's going on. And it's a totally different story than what everybody reads on social media, et cetera. What is your take in your neighborhoods talking to people?
Did he just get tackled?
Well, I just actually, Robin, it's funny you bring that up. I just actually went to a convenience store, literally right before I hopped on the phone with you guys, take some cash out of this ATM, this little convenience store.
Oh, you still had one there. Good luck. Yeah.
They're not blowing up They're not blowing up ATMs there yet.
All the ATMs are blown up here.
Not yet. They haven't hit those stores yet, but I got to tell you, outside of the brick, outside of all these stores, BLM all over the place. So they haven't knocked out the windows. They haven't blown anything up. But Black Lives Matter, which, by the way, is a very, very hateful group, that has been painted all over the outside brick of all these stores. And I walked in and I said, listen, if these guys come in here tonight, I hope you've got a gun. I want you to shoot every single one of them. As soon as you take a crowbar out, as soon as you take a bat out, shoot every single one of them. The guy laughed, and actually, I'm not kidding you, he pointed behind his chair right there in the convenience store, and sitting right there was a weapon. So I hope that store owners all over the country, wherever these animals are rioting and doing what they're doing, because, by the way, folks, they don't know who this guy, George Floyd is. They don't know who that guy is.
These are opportunists.
But that's the problem, is nobody's talking about George Floyd anymore.
No, even his brother came out yesterday and said, what are you people doing?
Yeah.
Well, they are talking about George Floyd, and I remember when this thing happened, I said to Bernie, I said, and I hate to say this, not because of the color of his skin, but something tells me we're going to find out this guy wasn't exactly the ran the church and and ran the Little League Baseball team. And there's a report of the New York Post here that he actually served 5 years in prison between 2009 and 2014.
Yeah, but he didn't deserve to die.
No, we're not. There's a lot of people with issues, Sid.
Listen, no one said that. No one said that. But at the same time, let's not deify the guy, okay? Let's not deify the guy and make the guy out to be one of the great men.
No, I know, but let's condemn the cop.
The cop should be in prison.
We've done that.
Everybody has. That's the problem. People don't think. People think that there are people who think this was good. What moron thinks that this was okay?
Nobody. Nobody has. Not black people, not white people. Nobody. Everybody's condemned the cops. We don't want the cops to go to jail for the rest of their lives. I don't care if they give the cops the electric chair. Won't bother me. But when I see LeBron James, this moron, tweeting yesterday, why doesn't America love us? When there's millions and millions and millions of white kids wearing LeBron James' stupid 23 basketball jersey, what the F is he talking about?
I agree with you, man. But you know what? You know what's it? He has a right to say his stuff, and I have a right to disagree with him. That's the America I own. I don't own America.
No, he doesn't.
I just own this show. That's it.
Listen, he doesn't have that right because, he's a guy that a lot of kids look up to. I know you too, Tony. Believe me, I know there's millions that love you and revere you as well. But he's got a responsibility because of his status. He's not like everybody else. And he can't just go out there and say hateful, stupid things based on zero proof. By the way, there is no systematic racism in the police. There is none. Zero. I can show you numbers where white people get killed 3 times as much as black people. So for LeBron James to go out there like Colin Kaepernick and say all these things go on and they hate us and America hates us, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. Too many people love and revere that guy. He should be preaching love today. That's what he should be preaching, love, not hate. And LeBron James preaches a lot of hate. Ask Jason Whitlock. I'll be the first to tell you.
Yeah, and he's the guy that spray painted his own garage door with racial things, and then nobody ever proved that it was done by anybody except one of his friends to make it look. Here he is sitting in a mansion with big walls and guys with submachine guns protecting his ass, and then he's sitting there telling everybody what to do. While he makes more money in 10 seconds than every one of his fans combined does in a year.
True. That's my point. That's why I don't give anybody a pass. It's, you all have a right to say something. I mean, you do. You're not going to go to jail for saying stuff that's A, inaccurate, B, dangerous. But a guy like him needs to be smarter. I mean, look, Michael Jordan never got involved with that type of stuff. Neither did Kobe Bryant. LeBron James opens his mouth at every opportunity. He's never right. He's never right. He's always on the wrong side. He should shut his mouth. I hate to say it.
No, he shouldn't shut his mouth. He should keep talking, and then we should respond. That's how it works, man. That's how it works. Yeah, the NBA, and they screwed over another good friend of ours, another New York guy, Grant Napier, because Grant Napier out there in Sacramento had the guts to say all lives matter, and now he's been suspended from his job by some slapdick Bonneville radio executives out in Sacramento because they kowtow to NBA players.
I know. I spoke to Grant today, guys. I did speak to him. 30 years at that radio station. And as you guys know, the brilliant announcer of the Sacramento Kings. And he said to me, Sid, my career's over. My career is over. I've been ruined because he said all lives matter.
Yeah.
All lives matter because he had the nerve to actually equate white people or Chinese people or any other people with black people. He had the nerve to equate them, make them equal. And after 30 years at that radio station and that basketball team, he has been let go. He's destroyed, guys. I tweeted about it earlier today. That is one of the real sick casualties, and that's why people like LeBron James are a lot more dangerous than people think.
He is. That's why he's banned from my show, and so is the NBA. I will not acknowledge the NBA until...
I'm booking LeBron James for next Monday.
I wouldn't talk to LeBron James if he came and kneeled before me and begged me to talk to him. How about that? Hey, LeBron, you want to get on the show? Kneel before me. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod.
I'm bringing him on. We're going to announce the playoffs.
Get him in here.
Well, he would have
to. I'll show him how real people live.
In all honesty,
Get your ass out of Beverly Hills, bro. Get your ass down here.
In all honesty, he would have to kneel if he came down to that.
Well, yeah, he's 6'8".
It's only
it's
7'2". He'd make it down here. I got it 7'2".
Yeah, he couldn't get down those steps.
I mean, you can't now. You can't
kneel,
go up.
He would have to kneel to get down here.
Just the front part. But once he's down there, this comfortable room for anybody. Now, if Yao Ming came down here, he wouldn't fit. If who else? Who's over 6'6"? Manute Bol came down.
We getting Sean Kemp down here?
Sean Kemp can come down here, but I don't want any kids down here. I don't want anybody with a bunch of kids.
And then you have the great, of course, he passed away now, but the great Georgie Murasan.
Exactly
right. With 8 on a good day.
Exactly right, man. But I have an NBA ban. This is NBA free radio. That's it right now. NBA free.
Listen, Tony, you may want to look into the NFL, too, while you're at it.
I need the NFL. I need something in the fall.
Before you know it, we won't have any sports to talk about even when they come back. Will you just shut the hell up?
How dare you, man? What's the matter with you?
You want me to come up there and play third wheel with you?
I'm never coming on your show with this kind of ridiculous commentary.
I'll be your sports anchor.
It's done.
What
You
sports?
got it, Harry. You're
What
hired.
sports?
You're hired.
Even Susan Wallman's going crazy now watching this crap.
Oh, my God, of course she is. You kidding me? She can't talk about Roger Clemens and her box. Remember
Exactly.
that? Roger Clemens is in my box. What?
No, he's in George's box. Roger Clemens is in George's box.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what it was.
George Steinbrenner's box. Come on, man.
Sid, if this keeps going on, Harry and I are both going up there.
Yeah.
We'll be on your doorstep.
I'll come up there and I'll tear down Madison Square Garden. I'll rip all the banners off. I'll take the Billy Joel banners down and steal all those things. And the Bruce Springsteen banners. And I'll burn them right there in front of, right there on 7th Avenue. And then I'll go to 8th Avenue in front of the post office. And then we'll go down to all the porn shops on 8th Avenue. And all those peep shows.
Those are gone.
Yeah.
No, they're all gone.
Now. Yeah, Rudy Giuliani did a good job.
No, not on 42nd, on 8th Avenue. They're still there. Trust me. My sources are telling me, unless they looted those. But if you loot those places, you walk out and you're stuck to the floor. You can't get out.
You can't leave.
Oh, my God. Oh, you're right. Oh, boy. My poor city.
Yeah.
Once
man.
designated the greatest city in the world, and now a source of ridicule on the Tony Bruno show. You can't make it up.
You're not a source of ridicule. We got to keep you in line here. This isn't a no-holds-bar. We have rules here. Some rules. The country may be a lawless, absolute crap hole right now, but there are still some rules on this show, Sid.
What are they?
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to figure them out. They change hourly depending on how many things blow up in our neighborhood. Depends on whether I can get some good action out of an ATM machine. In fact, when I root an ATM machine tonight, I'm going to charge them $5.25 for me taking the money out. How about that, Harry?
Yeah, I just saw this. Ryan just got this to me.
God.
Apparently, there's no more days off for all NYPD until further notice.
Oh, that's good. I'm sure that de Blasio is really going to become more popular. Wow.
Hey, not only no more days off, but now they're making these folks do 12 to 16-hour shifts. So these poor men and women who go out every single day to defend the people, not just in the city, but across the country. And have to hear about this made up racism amongst the cops. Now they're working 12 to 16 hours a day and every single day protecting people from these animals. Who, again, it's all been a lie. I mean, from the hands up, don't shoot, that was a lie. That was a hoax.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Brown.
Those are facts. That's facts now. Facts.
I mean, yeah, it's all facts. I mean, listen, what happened to George Floyd was terrible. And no one said it wasn't. I've heard nobody defend that guy. But, when you when Hillary Clinton goes on stage and brings up, Trayvon Martin's mother and Michael Brown's mother, like these are two heroes of this country. I mean, stop already. Can we stop?
It's a political thing. I mean, they need to keep people enslaved to their party, regardless of party. Everybody's doing this for power. And I get that. The politics is dirty, and they're scumbags. They're all scumbags, by the way. Not some of them, all of them.
Where are you, Sid?
I don't know.
Are you like in a wind tunnel?
Are you at the Port Authority bus terminal, by the way? Are you anywhere near there? Can you check the restrooms in there? I heard they're really clean now.
Is there a pallet of bricks in front of your building?
I'm outside my building, to be exact, Robin. I'm by Riverside Drive at 105th Street on the Ritchie Upper West Side where I live. I'm a good 50 blocks away from the Port Authority and about 70 blocks away from Penn Station. But it's windy up here today, very, very windy. So I try to get underneath some of the scaffolding. That's another thing we have in this city. We have scaffolding everywhere, and every now and then rocks fall, scaffolding, people get killed.
So basically, New York has gone from blow to suck in no time. Not from suck to blow, from blow to suck later on.
Terrible.
Hopefully you will not be kept awake with things exploding like we have.
Not where he lives, not in his building. That's the thing about New York is they all say in my building. You know that, Harry?
Yeah.
That's the only place where they say in my building. Is it?
Well, I will tell you this, though, to Robin's point, 11:30 last night, we had a lot of cop cars or something outside of, quote-unquote, Harry, my building. A lot of cars. And my daughter, who's 16 years old, Ava, she woke up and she was crying. And she's like, what is going on outside, Daddy? What's going on outside? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm not going out there. Just stand from the window. With 14 floors up, you can see what's going on anyway. But she actually started to cry at 11:30 last night. Here's a kid that loves New York City, couldn't wait to move here, and she has been, just like my son, too. My son's 11 years old. He's terrified. I mean, it's really a scary time, all kidding aside. The pandemic was bad enough. They've been cooped up in my apartment for the better part of 3 months. Now you got some real serious violence and threats every single day. For young kids, guys, for teenagers and kids like my son, it's like a really bad horror movie. It really is. And I can't fix it because the truth is, Mommy and Daddy are just as nervous and paranoid as our kids are. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Sid Rosenberg, ladies and gentlemen, keeping the peace in New York.
Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to go out here tonight. And listen, if things get crazy, I'm not afraid to throw down. But the problem is, I can't take on 12 people at once. So they come out with these pogroms, these mobs, 4 people, 8 people, 12 people, 15 people. So even the best intentions, I don't care if you're The Rock or Diamond Dallas Page guys in his prime, he's getting his ass kicked in the streets of New York City tonight. So you got to be very, very careful.
Just
careful.
Stay home, Sid. We're all in this together.
And stay out the bushes up there, too, man.
Oh, God, you guys are funny. You know that?
We're trying to be serious here. We're trying to be serious with you, and then all of a sudden humor breaks out into a very serious time. What's the matter with you, man?
Tony, I got to tell you this. This is about the third or fourth time I've done this radio show, and on Twitter and my Instagram and stuff. Every time I come on, people are like, oh, I love that show. I love those guys. In fact, I even told that to Robin a couple of weeks ago. So even on this, one of the scariest days in the history, guys, of New York City, always find a way to laugh on the Tony Bruno Show.
Well, thank you. Even when, we're serious when we have to be, and this is not a joking matter what's happening in New York and our cities, but there's nothing we can do. If the mayor, the governor, the president, anybody nobody wants to stop the lawlessness, they're going to keep on going. If you're telling people, hey, we're not going to send cops, it's okay. We don't want those cops to come in there and save your businesses for the poor people, so let them tear it down. That's the world we live in right now. It's an outrage.
It is, and the cops can't even do anything, guys, because if the cops, do something, and they get aggressive, which is what they want to do, guys. Trust me, I got a ton of friends who are cops, both in New York and New Jersey. They would like to bash these people's skulls in. They really would. But they can't do it because the first time they do something, the cop gets in trouble. Not the villain, not the animal. It's the cop who gets into trouble. So they're basically standing there and get rocks thrown at them, bottles thrown at them, cursed at. They can't do anything about it. And by the way, even if they arrest somebody because of the ridiculous bail reform here in New York that Governor Cuomo put together, you can't keep them in jail. They get out the next morning.
All right, now you're making me mad again. Now you're making me mad. So go, get home. Get home safe. Get home safe, man.
All right, Sid.
All right,
we'll talk to you later. Love you too, man. Be careful
out
there. Don't let that tan fade. That's the most important thing. Never let the tan fade away. We're coming right back. Yeah, but that's not a hard. That's not a hard break, though.
No. Yeah, we had flexibility there.
Matt Groves asking, scarier than 9/11?
Yes. It's scarier because, well, remember, I was on the air during 9/11, and so I was in L.A.
I was in
and
DC.
I watched it. And so we were worried in L.A. that they were coming out there once we saw it live. But after a couple of days, I was doing sports talk then, and the concern was, we need sports to come back, because sports came back faster.
Yeah.
Because once we realized that it wasn't happening every day, they had to change the rules with airplanes and everything else, and the world changed, obviously. But people wanted sports as a diversion because everybody was worried, but they weren't worried like they are now that somebody's going to come into their store. Nobody thought terrorists were going to go door to door and start smashing small businesses.
I think the difference is that that 9/11 was somebody. It was foreigners trying to invade, and doing damage. Here,
these are domestic terrorists.
I think that the scary thing is that it's the people who you don't. You're right, but it's your neighbors. It's people that your fellow Americans that are suddenly turning on everybody, and you're like, wait a minute, everything that you thought has just been upended. It is anarchy. That is what is
you're exactly right.
Anarchy.
We knew the terrorists.
Yeah.
Were extremists from another country or from other countries. The extremists are now among us, and you don't know who they are, and that's why we need to out these people. We need not the peaceful people, the Antifa people.
Right.
And I hope Barr, the Attorney General, outs every single one of them. I don't care if they're right wing or left wing. All these sons of bitches need to be outed, rounded up, and then thrown into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and see if those pansies can swim.
Didn't the FBI arrest a guy from Philly last night?
That's what I didn't see any confirmation. Did you see the 20-year-old kid in Pittsburgh who threw a Molotov cocktail? His mother brought him into jail. 20-year-old kid wearing a mask. He looked like a punk young kid. His mom, because they found out that he was the kid, because they have video of these people looting. This kid was started a fire, and then they got him on tape. They recognized him, identified him, called his house, and his mother brought him in to jail in Pittsburgh.
Mom, I don't want to go.
You're coming with.
I mean, that's like, I don't know if anybody else had this experience, but when I was a young kid, I think I took something from a grocery or a shop one time. I couldn't have been more than maybe 6. And I took something, and I remember my mother dragging my ass down to that store and making me return it. Ugh. Like that would happen in this day and age. Most of the time, people will go, oh, good. Next time, get more.
No, I can't find anything on that. That's another thing. Like, half the stuff you see is not even true.
Yeah, that's why I don't go with stuff that – I mean, I joke around with these Babylon Bee headlines because they're actually closer to reality than the real headlines. Like, if that Nike came out with those shoes, I'd buy them.
You would?
Yeah, those are the only – or make a knockoff. They're not really Nikes, but somebody should make a just looted and then put the logo on the side, have, like, people breaking glass. Have people have somebody with a sign, somebody breaking glass. Did you see the Italian pizza joint? Yeah. Where all these bros with these cones, these traffic cones and all kinds of things to smash. They were going to smash into this guy's pizza shop, the Italian guy. Mm-hmm. They're outside banging, trying to break in. Guy opens the door and has a shotgun, he had a rifle, and all these pansies all ran away, man. Oh, okay.
Was it maybe Pittsburgh that you were thinking?
It was Pittsburgh. That's where this kid was turned in by his mother.
But maybe that's what he was thinking. It wasn't Philly. It was Pittsburgh.
I don't know. No, the guy in Pittsburgh was a kid.
I know. It's up on the screen.
Oh, that's the kid from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's 20 years old. It was Saturday in Pittsburgh.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes on SiriusXM 211.
All right, we've restored peace here. We're not here to incite anything. We're here to keep the calm and keep the peace, Harry. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The Swedish Chef 2019 said that he had to turn the brightness on his phone down with Sid's picture up on it. It was
no doubt.
really shiny.
That's dangerous. Listen, I care about all my fellow humans. But Sid.
Looking at Sid will give you a sunburn.
He's going to look like the tan mom who's now no longer with us.
Yeah.
Remember the tan mom?
Sure.
She was a legend. And people like, oh, my God, she's cool. Look at that tan. That's dangerous now. Now, of course, when you have the lovely olive complexion of a Sicilian American, tanning is easy.
Sicilian.
Pimping ain't easy. But I don't go out and lay in the sun. I'm not one of those guys. It's incidental, Harry.
Well, where would you do it?
When I'm on, when I go on vacation.
Well, yeah,
now, I did one thing. I was silly on Dockside where we used to live. I laid out on the patio.
Yeah.
When it was a nice day. And it was actually still, like, winter. But it was one of those nice days, and as a joke, I went outside, and I had clothes on. But Robin framed the picture so you couldn't see, like, my buttocks. Because I had underwear on. But it looked like I was naked.
It scarred me for a while.
It's all right,
I'll be honest.
It's all right. You
I do wish that we had a rooftop deck, though.
Well, yeah.
That would be
Then
awesome.
I could throw down the lead. Like, in the medieval, when they would have people storming castles, and they'd say, give them the lead. And then they would pour the big bucket
Buckets
of lead,
hot lead
on people.
Molten lead. Yeah.
I prefer, drawbridge. I'm going to build a moat around the house soon, Harry. If this stuff keeps going on in my neighborhood, I'm going to build a moat. I'm going to rent some alligators from Alligators R Us. I'll fly down to Florida, put a couple baby alligators in a suitcase, bring them back, get those baby all hungry and stuff. And then somebody comes in, I'll pull a switch, and then the ramp will fall down as they try to go up the ramp. They fall into the moat, and then the alligators go wild. How great would that be, Harry? I could charge admission for that. I could call it like Gatorland. Gator people.
You'd be like the Tiger King.
the Gator King.
Gator King.
Then I could sell pretend make-believe gator on a stick, but it wouldn't be the gators. It would be the victims of the gators. And I would sell it and make a horror movie based on that. How great would that be, Harry? You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I'd rather just watch NBA.
Dean Lau, that would be more entertaining than the NBA. Watching people fall into gator moats to protect your property. Protect the house, Harry.
Do we have an update to do?
Please?
Please.
We do, actually.
Yes.
As bad as it is here in the United States,
yes.
Let's go to the UK, shall we?
Which update are we doing now, Harry? Is this another sex update?
No, this Robin, of course it's going to be
a sex update. Of course it's a sex update. No, this is a great story, Harry. This is what I feared.
Is that Francesa?
It looks like, no, he's too thin too thin to be Francesa. Jeez. Let's go to across the pond. This is how you think we're crazy in this country? What do you see what those wacky Brits are up to now as far as keeping people from enjoying themselves, Harry? Forget about going out. Now you can't even go in. Let's get the update from your correspondent, Miss Robin.
Dateline to the bored, desperate people in the UK as of today. The government has introduced new measures that will prevent people from having sex in another person's house.
What?
So if you are single and you don't live with anybody, you are now no longer allowed to bring somebody over to have sexual relations in your home.
Wait a minute. What about
two chicks at the same time?
Oh, hell no.
So wait a minute. The government says that you can't bring somebody from outside your household to have sex in your house.
Correct. And
you know what I say to them? You come in here, you limeys.
You should get your behind kicked.
I mean,
have you seen a lot of those British dudes? I mean, and the chicks, they're nasty, man. They got bad teeth. They smell.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Man.
You're painting with the broad brush here.
Hey, listen, if we can call every cop a rotten, I can call every British chick ugly. I mean, seriously, Harry. Have you seen some of those chicks?
I've seen a lot of hot ones.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
And, they do have dentists over there now.
They have dentists?
Yes, they do. It's amazing.
The only ones that make it through my online filters are the hot ones.
Well, I mean, you got to weed them out.
And then they got that accent.
You got to cull the herd. I can't understand the Brits, though.
No?
No, it's not sexy to me.
He has a disdain for Brits because he can't understand them, which
right?
I don't
I'm watching a movie. I need subtitles, and they're speaking English.
Well, like that deep, that Cockney accent, sometimes it's so sharp that you don't, it's hard to.
Well, yeah.
It's white trash. It's like, at Boston, New York, Philly, chicks who look really hot, and then they open their mouth.
Because I tried to watch this, Peaky Blinders, I think, and the accents in there are great,
couldn't do it?
but I couldn't understand them.
See, I think it's because I've heard it a lot before, so I think it's your ear gets tuned to certain accents, and it's fine. But
I'm never going to London again. No wonder why the NFL's not going to go over there and play games anymore. You think NFL players, when everything is safe, are going to go to London and not be able to knock off a nice piece?
I'd love to
for
go.
2 pence and none the better. What was the name of the group? 2 pence? Joe C.
What?
6 pence.
6 pence, none the richer.
None the richer.
Which I think they were American, though. I don't know, my late 90s
that is
one-hit wonder knowledge is scattershot.
Shut him down. Shut him down.
Shut me down?
Yeah. So
I'm not going to. I'll go to anybody's house and have sex. Somebody invites me into their house, I'm having sex.
He's going to be going. You're too busy tweeting.
I'll put down my phone for just a couple of hours to go in there, have a couple of cocktails, have some sex, and then get the hell out.
You need a straitjacket.
You could be missing out on all sorts of opportunities if you just put down the Twitter.
I love Kate Beckinsale. I would swim across the Atlantic Ocean to be with that in her house or mine. I'd rent a flat.
You would?
I'd rent a flat in the country, in the English countryside. I'd have goats and all these other wildlife or whatever else they have there.
Now, can I get back to the update?
Pretend
Can I just finish it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robbie. There's more? Let's resume the update already in progress.
This is in response to the fear that there's going to be another upsurge with the coronavirus. So this is the lockdown measures in England.
Oh,
and
that's good.
They're preventing people from socializing or gathering with one person or more from outside of their household in a private space.
Wow.
Boy,
nobody's
it's a good thing we took those suckers out 200-something years ago, man, when they tried to invade this country.
Don't worry about it. If we get big spikes in the next 10 days to 2 weeks, they're going to do the exact same thing here.
Not in my house, man.
You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked.
You come into my house. You're the government, and you're coming into my house? I got a couple of friends named Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson waiting for you.
Let me introduce you to Tom Wolfe. Have you heard of him?
Can you believe, I'm trying to imagine. So there's already going to be, it's going to be stressful. And now you're going to tell all single people that they can't have sex?
Right.
Yeah, that's going to help.
That's going to go over well. You're creating more Antifas.
Oh.
Exactly right. Wow. I thought we would have a little more energy today, Harry. We're low energy on the show today.
Jeez.
Hopefully tomorrow for One Up Wednesday, we'll be able to crank it back up. I'm going to recharge. I'm going to plug myself in outside. I got one of those portable recharge units.
You're going to defrag?
I'm going to defrag. I'm going to
take
Netflix
your phone away
and chill. I'm going to shut my phone down.
Doesn't it ever run up? That's the thing. I see these people, these protests and looting. Their phones never seem to run out of juice. They're filming the whole damn thing.
I miss that at concerts when I could see John Clark at a Springsteen concert doing that.
Hey.
Hopefully that returns. In the meantime, don't drink and drive. Thanks to Sid Rosenberg, John LeClair, and John McMullen. Have a good day. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Don't loot your neighborhoods. And God bless America.
All right, people. I'm exhausted.
You're exhausted.
That was a fast 3 hours, but exhausting. So we'll see you back here tomorrow as long as we're all standing. We love you. Bring a friend. And don't forget, if you want to leave something, leave a message on the strapper line.
Leave us a little loose change in the.
Well, that too. You can leave us bits because I have a feeling that we might need to bail Tony out of jail sometime soon.
856-818-4045.
Thank you, and see y'all tomorrow.
This knife has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. Maybe in our world here to live a happy little mountain.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mayes. Did you miss any of the show? Subscribe and download the audio available on all your favorite podcast apps such as iTunes, Spreaker, etc. Hope to see you back here live Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Channel 211 and Twitch.tv.